I love him. Appreciate you stopping by though. This is my favorite song in the game, so I have to take a little sip. Thank you. It's been about like a month since the last stream, so I might do it. I do it a little bit more often now. Thanks for the encouragement. Now back to the game we go. At the same time, a very, very soft breeze blew, tickling the pages. So we got Angie reading Maria's diary. You can say it's an invasion of privacy, but if she's dead and like you're the only like last living sibling, not sibling, but relative, I guess. Last living relative of that person. I mean, you can go ahead and read my diary at that point, I think. And I thought the open diary might have sparkled faintly. The weather is good today. Maria Oni-chan loves wonderful rays of sunlight. Does she now? So I'm sure she's in a good mood. Well, she's dead, so I don't think that's true. On the open diary, no, the world of the diary, Maria One-chan showed herself. She had been 9, I believe, when she died. So her appearance is already younger than mine. I call her One-chan, and in turn, she finally calls me just Angie.
Oh, Angie, 今日は来るのが遅かった。お昼混んでた？うん。いつも混んでるわ。仲良しグループたちが席を陣取ってる上に、食事を終えた後も席を塞ぎ続けてるから、食堂に行くのが遅くなると致命的ね。今日は片付けの当番だったから。マリア、ご飯食べるの早い。早く食べ終わるとその分いっぱい遊べるな。
Interesting. So we got Maria enabling her in her like antisocial like activities here. The faster you eat, the more you can play. The faster you get away from these fucking fools, the more you can play pretend and like live in a fucking, you know, closed off society world of make-believe. Maybe she noticed that I was still bitter about how that duty had been forced upon me, shortening my lunch break a bit. Maria One-chan brightly changed the subject. Yeah, that's what imaginary friends do though. Grateful for that consideration, I responded that I eat slowly. Maria said something about how she'd teach me the trick to eating fast and cheered me up. I read it in the diary. No, I heard it from Maria One-chan. I like how she corrects herself. You read it in the diary? No, she actually told me this personally because now I'm in a make-believe land where Maria talks to me. So I don't read the words. She actually tells me the words, right? That's woo-wee! She's pretty far gone here, as far as social goes, social graces. She was once ranked #1 among the girls in the speed eating leaderboard in her grades newspaper. Is that a real thing? Really? She had been proud of that, very proud of that, but had apparently been a little disappointed by that her mother, Auntie Rosa, hadn't praised her very much for it.
じゃあ今日のお話を始めるね。昨日はどこまでお話をしたかな？お？
Oh, so she's going in order here.
ここまでよ。マリアお姉ちゃんがサクタロをプレゼントしてもらったところまで、サクタロの話を聞かせてくれる約束になってたわ。
Just for a second, just imagine how sad your life has to be. If you're in high school, and you're like avoiding all your classmates at lunchtime. You're taking like, what, 20 minutes out of your lunch? You get maybe 30 minutes for lunch, right? You eat your food in 10 minutes, and hustle out to this fucking outside area behind the fucking school, where nobody goes. You can be alone for 20 minutes, so you can read your dead fucking cousin's diary Or she talks about a fake goddamn toy lion, and that's your highlight of your day. Like that, just imagine that. Just imagine that's your life, real quick. Like goodness gracious. Angie's kind of a sad person, right? Hmm. I mean, I guess he would, right?
そのお話を聞かせて。マリアお姉ちゃんにお話を聞かせてもらえる昼休みだけが
That's very sad.
学校で一番心を許せる時間だもの。作太郎はね、
Now, Maria's pretty loud, so let me like lower her down a little bit. Maria's like yelling and shit. Watching Maria One-chan, who yells, who's always in a good mood when she yells, makes my heart feel warm as well. As I listen to her tale, I begin to get absorbed into her world. That's when the fucking bitches came. I can already see it coming. These fucking bitches are coming up. Okay, maybe not yet. Maybe not yet. Okay. Not yet.
Happy birthday, Maria.
Hey, it's Rosa.
ごめんね、帰りが遅くなって。ママもお仕事お疲れ様。マリア、ママが忙しいの知ってるから遅くなっても泣かないで待ってた。おとなしくテレビ見て待ってた。マリアは偉いわね。お行儀よく待ってたご褒美に今日は何でも好きなものを注文していいわよ。もちろん食べきれる分だけだけどね。今日はコーンスープをオニオングラタンスープに変えてもいい？ええ、いいわよ。200円高くなるけどプロシュートピッツァに変えてもいい？ええ、いいわよ。
Sure you can.
本当に食べられるならね。でもいっか、誕生日だしね。
Oh, it's her birthday, okay.
ちゃんとお行儀よく待ってたいい子のマリアにご褒美もないとね。じゃあデザートにエンチェラーダチーズケーキもつけていい？
Enchilada cheesecake? Is that a real thing? 'Cause that sounds delicious. I want some of that.
シェフの気まぐれフルーツサラダにキッズフライドポテト。メロンソーダも飲みたい。
I want melon soda and enchilada cheesecake. Give me those things right now.
マリアはいい子、マリアはいい子。ママに褒められた。ちょっとはしゃぎすぎよ。もう少し静かにしないと他のお客さんに迷惑よ。
Rosa gently admonished her. Maria stuck her tongue out, eased up a little bit. But it seemed that she was having a hard time repressing her excitement and being able to eat out with her mother again after such a long time. I'm slipping into Rosa's voice. Today was Maria's birthday. This is not Bert Castille's voice, by the way. Different. It's a little different. It's a different twang. Rosa always spent Maria's birthday at a wonderful restaurant. When Maria had still been in kindergarten, they had been sometimes invited other kids from the neighborhood over and had a party at home. Rosa would make a wonderful cake, homemade sweets, and decorate the house herself, making it a huge celebration. But after they moved, Maria no longer had any friends in the neighborhood. Rosa had started splurging at expensive restaurants instead. Interesting. This is like legitimately part of their history here. However, today they were instead in a normal family restaurant. And also a little bit late in the day for a kid like Maria to eat there, even with a parent. So they're there at like fucking 10 o'clock, dude. I've seen people coming in with their kids at fucking 11 o'clock at my restaurant. I'm like, why are the fucking these kids still up? They're over here getting like kids tenders and fucking kids chicken tenders and fucking kids fruit. Like what? At 11 fucking o'clock? Why are these kids still up? Fucking 5-year-old kids and shit. Take these kids to bed, dude. Right? It's almost fucking midnight, dude, and their kids are still fucking up. Like, why? Go ahead and take them to the hotel room, guys. They're done. Alright? Not Rosa, not Rosa. She won't do that. Rosa had actually gone reservations at a fantastical place that Maria would absolutely have loved. Of course, she had also prepared a wonderful cake with Maria's name written on it. But Rosa just hadn't been able to finish up her work and had been forced to cancel. Interesting. Since that had turned to a local family restaurant, Rosa felt a little indebted to Maria. So she was prepared to spoil Maria a bit and let her have whatever she wanted tonight.
マリアお姉ちゃんってあんまり食べないんじゃなかった？こんなに頼んで大丈夫なの？
あんまり食べられないけどいっぱい並ぶのが好きなの。お誕生日のテーブルはね、赤、青、緑に黄色、いっぱい色とりどりだと幸せになれるの。
そうね、お誕生日のテーブルってカラフルだと幸せな気持ちになれるわね。うちの誕生日はマリアお姉ちゃんのところにはだいぶ負けるけど、駅前のケーキ屋さんで買ってくるケーキがいつもとても華やかだったっけ。
Angel back to her own birthdays nostalgically, sorry. Even though Dad was busy, he sometimes came home just to show up at my birthday party and then went right back to his company. I was sad at the time, but now I understand how important I was to Dad. Of course, Mom also took very good care of me. In particular, she always had a really good sense of birthday presents, and sometimes arranged for them several months in advance. That's a good ass mother right there. Even though we always sent an invitation badly on each time, he didn't get along with Dad or something, so he didn't always come. So when he did come, I was really happy. Birthday parties when the whole four-person family was together made for the fun memories that I will never forget.
エンジェのお誕生日もとても楽しそうだね。マトラとルドルフおじさんがすごく賑やか。ワイワイキャッキャ。あ、マトラジュースかけられてる。
Well, yo, Nate-chan peeked into my happy memory. I don't know why I'm doing Rose's voice here. This is Angie, I'm sorry. It's kind of embarrassing looking at myself, sitting quietly here, wearing the origami helmet that Dad had made as a party trick. In my hand was a paper gun that Badler and each had filled it for me. And Mom was taking a commemorative photo. It was the happiest moment of my life. I don't doubt that, right? Really don't.
でもマリアお姉ちゃんの誕生日だって負けてないよ。それで今日もらえるんでしょ、作太郎は。
すっごく楽しみだった。ママのカバンの脇にあるプレゼントの包みを早く見せてもらえないかなとずっとワクワクしてた。
Sakataro is the name of the stuffed animal that Maria and Nichan was to receive as a present today. For quite a long time, Auntie Rosa had been making a stuffed animal to give to her as a birthday present today. It was apparently to be a cute lion stuffed animal. And Maria One-chan had already given it the name Sakataro, even though she hadn't received it yet. Today she was looking forward to meeting Sakutaro, even more than celebrating her own birthday. Auntie Rosa ran a clothing design company. It did actually seem to have a brand name too, for what that's worth. I think it was called Auntie Rosa in English. What? Really? The slogan was supposedly, "I can't forget the way I was before today." Interesting. Well, what a slogan for Auntie Rosa, right? Fortunately, I never met anyone who knew of that brand name. Maybe it wasn't that famous. Probably not. In any case, Auntie was pretty skilled with her hands. I heard that some of the clothing she wears, she made herself. Looks like she does, right? Looks like. She has a puffy shirt on, dude. Look at that. She got the puffy shirt on from Seinfeld. She made that herself, I bet. It's a definitely puffy shirt. So making a stuffed animal had to be well within her capabilities, I guess.
手作りのぬいぐるみなんてちょっと素敵。ところで作太郎って名前どういう意味でつけたの？
Yeah. Inquiring minds want to know.
本当はさくらってつけたかった。でもオスライオンのぬいぐるみだから男の子の名前にしなさいって言われたの。
Okay.
だから男の子っぽく太郎を加えて作太郎。最
Makes
後の「う」
sense.
はいつの間にかなくなっちゃった。
なんでさくらなんて。
テレビアニメの主人公の名前。
There you go. So we got yet another anime reference. We already had Yu-Gi-Oh! You already have World of Warcraft. Now we've got Card Capture Sakura. That's almost 100% positive what she's referring to. We were talking about 1986? Or, I don't know, it's probably 1985 or something like that. You're probably talking about Sakura. Card Capture Sakura. Clamp anime. It was apparently a popular anime at the time whose main character was a girl named Sakura. The fact that she simply borrowed the name of the character she liked was, how should I say it, innocent and cute as you expect from her age.
ママ、作太郎まだ。作太郎も一緒にお誕生日混ぜてあげたい。
プレゼントはいつも最後でしょ。
That's right.
今広げると汚しちゃうわよ。食事が終わるまで我慢しなさい。
じゃあ早く食事を終わらす。
Soon she proclaimed that she started turning into the Auntie Rosa scolded her, telling her not to make a scene. That's funny. That's how kids go. Yeah, I'll eat my food real quick. Starts fucking busting through that shit, making a fucking mess. Seeing that she has seen it coming immediately. I've been thinking that if I were a street forward with Maria and Nichan, that I would probably be exactly what I want to do as well. So it brought a kind of warm smile to my face when my expectations were betrayed. Nice. In the end, Auntie Rosa succumbed to her daughter's eyes sparkling with anticipation, cleaned up the table and took out the long-awaited wrapped present.
ハッピーバースデー
Happy
マリ
birthday!
ア。なかなか時間が取れなくてあまり上手に作れなかったんだけど。
Nice.
ママの手作りなら何でも嬉しい。作太郎。
Auntie Rosa spoke slightly humbly, but Maria Onechan was ecstatic even before opening the wrapping. I could really understand that feeling. It's not a matter of quality. Just the fact that it was a handmade present was more pleasing than anything.
開けてもいい？
I mean, that's true.
開けてもいい？
本当はお家に帰ってからにしてほしいんだけど、ちょっと見て挨拶したら一度しまうのよ。ちゃんと挨拶するのはお家に帰ってからにするのよ。
Smart. Get that fucking food in this goddamn stuffed animal. First goddamn day you open it up? Fuck that. I ain't putting that shit in the wash day one, right? We ain't putting that shit in the fucking... taking it to the cleaners or whatever. Charging us $50 just to clean that shit the first fucking day? What? Hell no. No marinara sauce on my fucking stuff line.
ここはお外なんだからはしゃいじゃダメよ。
No fooling around.
約束できる？
約束する。だから開けてもいい？開けてもいい？ママ。
はいはい。ちょっとだけよ。
Before Auntie Rosa finished her sentence, Maria Onechan started unwrapping the present. Already. Let's see what he looks like here. Hey! It's not too bad for a non-professional, right? I guess you want to call her. I guess she is kind of a professional. Seamstress, so I guess that's what a professional can do, right? Straight away, yellow and orange peeked out. What appeared was a slightly blank-looking stuffed, blank-looking, I like that, with the cute round eyes and the cute white chest. What's up, Sakutaro? About the size of a small pillow. Looked pretty big held by a short person like Maria Nichan, but it probably wasn't that large. From the perspective of someone who didn't know better, it would probably look like something cheap bought from a department store or something. But to Maria Nichan, it was her mother's handmade stuffed animal, the only one of its kind in the world and irreplaceable.
作太郎。
I mean, that's, what can I say about Sakutaro? It's not gonna be a huge spoiler. It's unfortunate that, her mom's a seamstress and can make fucking these stuffed animals by hand. And like, unfortunately, there's only ever gonna be one Sakutaro made in this world because of that. Like, you can't go to the store and buy another one. So, I mean, you can kind of infer what I'm trying to say here. Maybe, if you're looking between the lines of what I'm saying here, that there's only one Sakutaro ever made. And then look at the fucking track's name. The Tale of Sakutaro's Tenacity? What does tenacity imply to you guys, right? So there's only gonna be one of these guys ever made. So if something ever happens to Sakutaro, Maria's kind of fucked, right? She's never gonna get another one like that ever again. And you know, you would think if something does happen to Sakutaro, it's because of fucking Rosa, right? So would Rosa want to make another one for her at that point? I don't know about that. Not even counting the fact that it would be kind of traumatic to have somebody who gives you the fucking stuff that will, you know, destroy it in the first place. So if it is Rosa's fault that Sakutaro gets, you know, somehow harmed or something like that, what does that say about this initial memory, right? I mean, doesn't that ruin this initial memory? If Rosa fucking betrays that and like does something bad to Sakutaro in a fit of rage. And we know that Rosa goes into a fit of rages at the drop of a fucking hat. So I mean, in spoiler territory, I mean, it might not be a spoiler, it's probably a prediction, to be honest. So I'm not too sure what's going to happen in episode 4, to be honest. I haven't really played episode 4 in a while. But let's continue on, we're on chapter 2.
かわいいかわいい、すっごくかわいい。ママありがとう、ママありがとう。お仕事で忙しいのにこんなにかわいいぬいぐるみを作ってくれて本当にありがとう。
Good manners, you say thank you when your mom fucking literally, like, with her own sweat, blood, and tears makes you a goddamn stuffed animal with her own skill. And it looks pretty good, actually. I'm not gonna lie, it looks pretty good for a stuffed animal made by a fucking mom. Not a fucking professionally made fucking, you know, Mickey Mouse toy or something like that, right? It's a fucking handmade goddamn doll. Good shit.
全然時間が取れなくて大したものを作れなかった
That's
の。
pretty good, Rosa. Put your love into that shit.
本当は抱えきれないくらい大きなのを作るつもりだったのにね。
これでいい。このくらいの大きさならいつも一緒にいられるもん。一緒にお出かけできるもん。サクタロー、お姉ちゃんだよ。フリュー。
本当に可愛らしいぬいぐるみね。
Oops.
この子がマリアお姉ちゃんの一番のお友達のサク太郎なのね。
学校には一緒に行けないけど、お家ではいつも一緒にいる一番のお友達なの。サク太郎はね、とっても無垢で可愛らしくて、そしていつもマリアに優しくしてくれるの。マリアに元気がない時には励ましてくれて、マリアが元気な時は一緒にいっぱい遊んでくれるの。だからマリアはもう寂しくなんかない。ママが仕事で忙しくて一人ぼっちでも寂しくないし、学校で誰も遊んでくれなくても全然寂しくないの。ねえ、サクタロー、
We're gonna see a scene eventually with Maria and Sakutaro when Mama is late at work. It's not gonna be a happy scene, but let's prepare you guys for the shit's going down. Episode 4. I think I told you guys this before when we were playing episode 3, but episode 4 is really fucking sad. It's sad and depressing because you're kind of getting towards the truth of what's actually happening here. And to highlight that truth, you get Angie's story, you get Maria's story. You get these stories of these people in such fucking misery in their like entire life. They gotta like create these fucking imaginary friends to play with. And I mean, this is just a scratching the surface here. We're getting Sakutaro. It's a happy memory, right? Like we're starting off kind of happy. We've already got glimpses of like how Angie's fucking miserable at school, how she's being fucking victimized by her goddamn bully friends at school. I mean, it's not even started yet, basically, but like, we're gonna get there. Episode 4 is fucking. It's a fucking. I don't know. I can't call it my favorite, but it's definitely one of the more I want to say thought-provoking episodes you'll ever play. It's one of the more emotionally laden episodes in Umineko. It's definitely fleshing out the entire landscape of the story. It makes you like it kind of like visually feel what's going on for the culprit, especially. That gets them to the point where they want to kill like everybody in the Ushirumi family. So you kind of like grasp what's at stake when you read stories like this. Like you read how fucking bitterly lonely Angie is. Remember, Angie is not the one to kill anybody, so it's not like Angie's the killer because she wasn't there. But Angie can understand the bitterness, the pain, the loneliness, really. Like, the loneliness is the key factor here of why whoever dresses up as Beatrice makes that decision. Look, I gotta kill all these fucking Isumi fucking idiots because they made me, feel this fucking lonely. They made me feel this fucking isolated. They made me feel this broken. And, I can't live like this anymore. So we've already seen Angie, leap backwards, do a backflip off the skyscraper because she felt like that. So, imagine how much more traumatized does somebody have to be to dress up like Beatrice and kill all these people on October 4th, 1986. It's a kind of nice, well, not nice, but it is a very good, juxtaposition between the two people, between Angie and the person she really hates in Beatrice, the person who's dressing up as Beatrice, basically. Compared to the other kids in her class, Maria One-chan's tempo was always a beat too slow. Her impressionability and her way of thinking about things were a little peculiar, and she was always a little too idiosyncratic to blend in with them. Her grades were low as well, and yet she was talkative when it came to her specialist field of the occult, which led to her being treated like a weirdo by everyone else in the class. So now we're getting to the bad stuff, right? We had a nice happy memory. Now we're getting to like Maria being a fucking outcast in society. If she touches you, you'll be cursed, stuff like that. Everyone in the class acted like she was gross, made fun of her, and avoided her, it seems. Boys who bumped into Maria One-chan would start wiping that part of them off against other boys as if they'd gotten something dirty on them. I've seen that before. Unfortunately. They would pick up their stuff between pinched fingers like it was something filthy and chase the other boys around with it. I haven't seen that yet. I mean, that's a little much. As for the girls, they appeared to find even speaking to her unpleasant. They ignored her completely, giggling and sneering at her whenever she made a mistake. Yeah. Angie's feeling that too, right? Oh, you want to say that? I mean, these kids don't know yet, and people that are bullied in grade school and in high school, they end up being the richest people in the world. Matter of fact, right? Who's the richest bitch in the world right now? Oh, it's Angie Usuramiya, right? She's the fucking rich bitch. So these people can fucking talk about you all day. Who has the last laugh, though? Angie has the last laugh. So fuck these bitches, fuck these hoes. They don't understand. And they're fucking jealous. That's what they are. Jealous as fuck.
だってクラスには一人いじめられっ子がいないといけないってルールなんだもん。
最低なルールね。それを作ったやつの後頭部をレンガで殴ってやりたいわ。もちろん角で。
Ooh, that's gonna kill somebody.
もしもマリアがいなくなったら、きっとマリアの代わりに新しい誰かが
Wow,
新しいいじめられっ子に選ばれる。
She just said something very fucking like benevolent. Wow, Maria.
マリアが我慢することで、マリアはその子を
Oh,
かば
she's
ってあ
too
げら
good for
れ
this
るの。
world. She's way too good for this world. Good thing she's dead, right? Oh, too soon? Wow. Yeah, she smelled Fairy, she's dead. Maria Onechan's way of thinking really is unusual. It's a great way to think though, right? Isn't it? Oh, I'll take the fucking hits. You can bully me, but then I'm protecting somebody else that's gonna get bullied if it's not me. So I can take it because I'm strong. The person next to me probably couldn't take it, so let it be me. Fuck yeah, right? I mean, goddamn. That's ridiculous. According to her, there's always a witch presiding in the place called school. No, she says that anywhere that there are a lot of people gathered, will most certainly have a witch residing there. Okay. The witch tries to make the students perish by disease or accidents so that she can steal their souls. Wow, really? She also sometimes corrupts the souls, leading them down the path of evil. Maria Onechan told me that an angel came, not content to let that happen.
天使様はね、魔女をやっつけようとした。
The fuck are they right now? In the fucking zoo?
でも魔女は兄弟で、戦いは7日7番に及んだんだけど、それでも決着しなかった。
It's like the fucking story of Genesis here? Right, what the fuck? Is it?
疲れ切った魔女は休戦しようと言ってこう提案したの。
前に聞いたわ。私はこれまでクラスの生徒の半分を病気にしたり怪我をさせたりしてきました。
I mean, this is pretty much like Genesis.
でもその代わりに残りの半分の生徒は病気と怪我から守ってきました。だからもしもクラスの一人を私への生贄にいじめられっ子にしてくれるなら。
Okay, it's like some kind of Japanese, like, you know, foreign folktale that I don't know about. It sounds a little bit like, you know, they cut the baby in half Bible verse. Like, oh well, you want to share this baby? Okay, let me cut this baby in half. You get one half, you get the other half. Then one dude's like, oh, don't cut the baby in half. Let the other dude have it. I don't want this baby to die. It's to have fucking half of that fucking carcass and shit. So then, I think it's fucking King Solomon saying, oh, okay, so you actually will get the baby because you care enough to not cut this baby in half. So King Solomon's still wise that he figures out who's to be the fucking baby's fucking daddy at that point. This is kind of the same thing. Oh, you sacrifice some kid, just so I can like, so the was the witch wants to be fucking appeased to sacrifice one kid, and I guess one kid will be like, nah, I'm not gonna do that shit. Or he'll volunteer to be the Billy kid, and like the angel will fucking bless him or something like that.
その他全員の生徒を病気や怪我から守りましょう。だって。
天使様は考えたの。クラスの半分が不幸になることに比べたら、クラスの一人だけが不幸になることの方がずっといい。それに魔女はその強力な力で他全員の生徒の安全を守ってくれるという。
Yeah, it works out for everybody, right?
クラスに40人の生徒がいるとして20人の犠牲者が1人に減って19人が助かるというわけね。実に合理的な提案。
Very logical. I wonder if this fairy tale has some kind of motive. If it's a creation of Maria Onechan, a 9-year-old girl, that would be pretty impressive. Okay, so it's not a fucking Japanese folktale. It's just something Maria thought up of. That's why I haven't heard of it. Like, okay, where's this coming from? I think it's the first time Angie's heard of it too, so she read it in a goddamn diary of Maria, so it's just something, you know, Maria came up with.
天使様はその提案を飲むことにした。だから一人の生贄によって19人は救われた。だから マリアの役割は大切なの。
I mean, it's not a bad, like, way to think. Oh, I'm getting bullied? Well, the angel's, like, protecting these other fucking 40 people in class. Just for me going through all this bullshit. So it's all good, you know? If you can endure it, and that's the way you think of, to where you can live another day, basically, go to school and, like, endure it again. Or I'm protecting all these people by taking all this crap by these fucking idiots who don't realize what I'm doing for them. I mean, yeah, go for it. You know, that's better than the alternative. Like, oh, I'm just a fucking horrible person who's getting shit on because I suck, right? No, because you're a hero that's fucking helping out all these other idiots in class who don't realize the fucking truth. That's what I think you should be thinking. So Maria is kind of stronger than meets the eye at that point.
魔女は19人を守ってる。
私たちが生贄になることによって
I mean, you don't look at it like that though. You look at it like you're a hero, not a sacrifice. You're actually doing something good for the world.
その19人に感謝された覚えはな
Yeah,
いけれ
see?
ど
Angie can't see it yet. Because without love, you can't see it. Maria and Achan's thinking is too compassionate. The miserableness of our situation is very similar. And yet, there's a difference in our inner peace just because of a small difference in our way of thinking? Yup.
それでマリアお姉ちゃ
It's
ん
all
が
about
悲しくない
perspective,
の
baby.
悲しくなんかない
She's
よ。
not sad. She's got a stronger fucking sense of mind. Sense of fucking self-control.
だってこれからはサク太郎が一緒だもんね。サク太郎、うにゅう、マリアと一緒なら僕も元気。ほら、サク太郎も元気って言ってるよ。
Miyachan held up Sakutaro's stuffed animal, playing both sides of the conversation herself. I don't understand. That's exactly why I want to reach Maria One-chan's level. I'm not at the highest level yet. No fucking... living in my own fucking head. Maria-chan's the master of that, alright? Living in her own fucking fairy tale land. You gotta get on her level, baby. It's what makes me so strongly interested in her tale and her words. Damn straight.
エンジェは一人ぼっちだから辛い？
辛いわ。でもマリアお姉ちゃんとこうしていられる時間だけは別。
I mean, she's been talking for a good like 30 minutes now. Like it's lunchtime is over, dude. Like she's gonna get caught.
一人ぼっちじゃないから。
ならサク太郎もお友達になればもっと楽しくなるよ。
There you go.
じゃあ今日からサク太郎もエンジェの新しいお友達だよ。
Nice.
ね、サク太郎。
There we go, Angie. You get a new friend.
おりゅう？
Hey, he's talking. Ooh, should I do well, okay. If Sakutaro has any like scene direction lines, I'll give him a voice. I got one in mind. But we'll see. I don't think he does. I think it's gonna be pretty much Maria and Angie doing the descriptions here for Sakutaro. We'll see. I think there's a point in the game where he does actually talk, and it's in his perspective, in his point of view. But it's not on this episode, so I think we're safe.
僕、エンジェのお友達？
He does talk in the game though. Be prepared, guys. Him and Audrix talk in this game. Skillfully moving the stuffed animal like it was a public, Maria Nechan made Sakutaro emote. He was controlling him, but the charming way he waved his short hand and cocked his head to the side made it feel like he really was a new friend called Sakutaro. Now, you gotta remember, like, we've got Maria, who's a figment of Angie's imagination, now being a fucking puppeteer for another figment of Maria's imagination, Sakutaro, and pretending to speak for him. Maria's already in fucking Angie's mind as a fucking imaginary friend, right? So now the imaginary friend has an imaginary friend of her own, who's now a new friend for Angie, the one who's imagining this entire thing. So it's a couple levels of fucked up right now. That Sakutaro is now talking with Maria's voice, who's a fake voice that Angie's making. I mean, It's fucking, it's mind-boggling right now what's going on. It's good shit. This is episode 4, guys. Welcome. Welcome to episode 4. Of course, if you were looking at Cold's eyes, you would only see Maria One-chan comforting mopey old me with a stuffed animal. I don't think you would see Maria because she's dead. You would see you talking to yourself in Maria's voice. Talking to Maria's voice and Sakutaro's voice. And we would think you were crazy as fuck. If I looked at it with really cold eyes, right? With the coldest fucking Arctic ice. That stuffed animal had definitely been imbued with a soul. The soul of Maria One-chan's love. Do I accept the existence of a being called Sakutaro inside that stuffed animal?
ほら、エンジェもサクタロに挨拶して。ほら、サクタロもご挨拶。ウリュエンジェ、怖い人？
As Sakutaro timidly looked at me, he unexpectedly met my gaze and hid behind Maria One-chan's back in surprise. Maria One-chan really is good at playing with stuffed animals.
大丈夫だよ、サクタロ。エンジェは怖くないよ。とっても優しい女の子だよ。どうも、サクタロです。ウリュウ。
So I'm pretty sure this probably happened in the past when Angie was maybe 5 years old. She was 6 when they went to the island, right, and died. So maybe when she was 5, and Sakutaro was shown to young Angie, and Maria had this scene with young Angie. And like, oh, you want to be friends with my like stuffed animal? Okay, here we go. And she made a whole show about it. So now she's remembering this scene. If not, if she's pretending this is happening and she's like, you know, a high schooler, that's doubly sad that she's she's doing this shit. And then she just read this shit in a diary like, oh, let me pretend that this fucking shit's actually happening. Like that's wow, that's very sad. So hopefully, you know, she actually met Sakutaro in the past. Because otherwise, goddamn. Goddamn, Angie.
はじめまして、サクタロウ。エンジェよ。新しいお友達になれて嬉しいわ。
One of the saddest fucking stories you've ever heard, dude. I held my right hand as though asking for a handshake. And Sakutaro's short hand was stuck out towards me and lightly touched my index finger. After all, the size is all wrong for a handshake between a human and a stuffed animal. This greeting by touching each other's fingers was our handshake.
これでもうエンジェとサクタロはお友達だよ。一人よりは二人、二人よりは三人の方がもっと楽しいよ。
Definitely funner. Ooh.
うりゅー。
Maria One-chan had given the name Sakutaro to the stuffed animal she was going to receive on her birthday, and it warmed and expanded its existence in her heart for a long, long time. Therefore, even before she had met him, his existence had been sublimated into her personality. She knew she loved him before she met him. She thinks she dreamed him into life. Literally. From the very first moment they met, two of them were already friends. Of course, I don't think anything could have been personified in the love that Sakutaro was. That wasn't anything extraordinary in Maria One-chan's eyes. She loved the things she owned very much, treating them just like friends or beloved pets. Okay. Maybe it was partly that Auntie Rosa hadn't let her keep a pet. Or maybe just her innate desire to treat things as though they were precious. Maybe it was that she was so isolated, she had been forced to find friends closer to home. Because of all those various circumstances, this wasn't anything extraordinary from her perspective. And even so, Sakutaro, you know, maybe I should call him Sakutaro like Maria One-chan. Oh, okay, I didn't differentiate. Sakutaro! No, maybe I should call him Takasharo. Like Maria One-chan. I don't know what the difference in pronunciation is with the U or without the U. It's probably like Takamichi and Takamichi. Sounds the same to me, but apparently Japanese speakers can tell the difference between those two. I can't. It was certain that Sakutaro was a stuffed animal. no, a friend who was more loved than anything or anyone. Hey, an old-timey phone.
もしもしママよ。上機嫌ね。お友達が来てるの？
Sakotaro.
サクタロと遊ん
Of
でるの。
course.
サクタロったらね。
It was already past 9 at night. Rose had asked out of surprise since this wasn't an appropriate time for a friend to be over. But when she thought about it, Maria didn't have any friends who would come over to play, did she? Even so, to think that she would have so much fun playing with that stuffed animal. Rosa was very pleased that Maria had liked her birthday present so much.
ごめんね。ママどうしても仕事が片付かなくて。
It's a good ass present, right?
来期のラインナップが難航してるの。ようやく少しずつ注目され始めたみたいで、なんとかここで期待に応えられるインパクトを与えたいのよ。
Maria's not gonna understand that shit.
今夜もお泊まり？うん、いいよ。頑張ってママ。そうありがとうねマリア。
So Maria is like one of the best kids you could ever have. If you're like a kind of a mentally abusive parent. So Maria enables Rosa to do all this bullshit left and right. You know, she's not really staying over for a goddamn project. She's over here with her boy toy, and she's like giving Maria some kind of like elaborate excuse that Maria doesn't even understand or care about. What does Maria do? Again, Maria makes excuses for people to abuse her. So just like the fucking, the kid in class that gets abused, the kid that gets bullied, it's protecting everybody else in the class. In Maria's eyes, right? So, oh yeah, it's okay for me to get bullied because I want to protect these 40 other kids in class. So now it's okay for Mama to never come home because, oh, she gave me the stuffed animal to play with. You right? And that's fucking enough for me. I mean, Maria's just making excuse after excuse. Like, what a fucking champ. What a fucking... Like, I'm not sure how Rosa raised her this way, but like, Maria is, she's able to fucking... She's a survivor, right? She can survive in any situation. She doesn't have to fucking, live off of her mother's fucking attention or her fucking mother's, pretty much presence because she's never there, right? So, of course not. Maria can live in her own world, in her own fantasy world. Maria can do whatever she wants when she puts her mind to it. Like, she doesn't get good grades in school, right? She doesn't have any friends in school. But she's still living a happy life, right? That's the key thing. Like, she's, in her world, like, she's the best version of Maria she can ever be. And it's very hard to do. You can have the smartest person in the world who has a miserable fucking life, right? And then this girl should have a miserable life. Her fucking mom's a fucking piece of shit. And she has no friends, right? But damn it if she's not having the fucking happiest life a kid her age is happening. So, shrug. I don't know what's going on. Maria's fucking great. She's doing alright, right? It's fucking interesting. And it's sad in a way, but like, when you see that she's actually, legitimately happy, like, well, all you can do is be proud of Maria and the way her mindset works. I mean, it's a shame that more people don't think this way. Rosa was very surprised that Maria accepted such indifference that she couldn't come home. Tell Maria that she would be coming home later, staying overnight had been a heavy burden for Rosa. Maria would start crying about how lonely she was on the other end of the phone, and it took a lot of time and effort to calm her down. To think that Maria would accept it with such high spirits. Is this also thanks to Sakotaro? Sakotaro? I guess that's how you pronounce that. Rosa was once again pleased that she had given such a good present. I mean, shit, you think about it, Rosa, you made that shit with, a lot of love. You made that shit yourself as a seamstress. Of course your kids gonna like that shit, right? It meant you took time and like effort and like you thought about, you fucking gave her the fucking effort of a good present. for once in your life, probably. So of course Maria's gonna love that. And then put all of her fucking fantastical thoughts into it, right? Of course.
明日のこの時間には帰れるようにするわ。明日は一緒に夕食をとりましょう。マリアは夕食はまだよね。コンビニでお弁当を買ってきて食べてね。お菓子はダメよ。ジュースもダメよ。お釣りと一緒にレシートも入れておくのよ。
サクタロとお買い物、サクタロとお買い物。
こら、サクタロはダメよ。お留守番させなさい。
From Maria's manner of speech, Rose got the feeling that Maria had been going shopping with that stuffed animal without her knowing about it. Maria's forehead creased, and after sourly telling Maria that she was absolutely not to, she hung up. No. You can tell what's gonna happen next, right? Yeah, but let's go ahead and go shopping without mom telling.
サクタロとお買い物、ダメだってママに言われた。ウリュウ、マリアとお買い物に行けない。一人でお留守番、寂しい。なんでママ、サクタロとお買い物行っちゃダメなんて言うんだろう。ウリュウ、きっと僕がマリアと一緒にいるのを見られると恥ずかしいんだよ。
That's it. It's a smart stuffed animal.
恥ずかしい？なんで？ママはよく僕を外に連れて行っちゃいけないって言うし、マリアのことをよくもう何歳になったんだからダメとかそういう言い方をするし。
So right here you know that Maria gets it. If she speaks for Sakotaro and Sakotaro says this, Maria gets it. Yeah, people will think you're weird if you have a stuffed animal around. You're 10 years old and you talk to the stuffed animal like it's a real person. She gets it, but she pretends that she doesn't get it because she wants to live in her fantasy world. Again, if she thinks like that and like she's happy, I'd say more power to her, but there's elements of her knowing that this is all fucking fantasy, this is all fake. Like, the reality is she's looked upon like a fucking, an idiot kid, basically. So is that really her in a happy, happy land fantasy world? Or is that like her kind of like just ignoring reality at that point? Because what Sakotaro says here, it shows that she's aware of what people were saying about her. And she just doesn't care, basically. She's happy without, giving these people dang their existence even matters, basically. Is that a healthy way to live for a kid? Jury's still out on that, right?
マリアはサクタロと一緒で全然恥ずかしくないよ。僕はライオンだけどぬいぐるみだし。ライオンでぬいぐるみだけどマリアのお友達だよ。だから一緒にお出かけしよう。ママがいない時だけ内緒で。
Here we go.
ひょっとしてサクタロも恥ずかしい？僕は恥ずかしくないけど。ウリュウ、ちょっとお外の人が怖い。
Yeah, the people see? So Sakotaro saying it, but it's Maria thinking it, right? Oh, the people outside are just a little scary. When you talk to a goddamn stuffed animal, and the people look at you like you're crazy, it's a little scary, right? But Maria acts like she's not scared. So, let's go, right?
そっか。じゃあサクタロが怖くなくて
Yeah, Maria's
一緒
cool.
にお出かけできるようにする。
It's reinforcing that she's not fucking afraid of these idiots outside. So let's go.
マリアに任せて。便利なのがあるの。
Maria started fishing around her messy room. By the way, look at what these two guys are. We got two bunnies on the floor, and they look a little similar, don't they? Those two bunnies right there. They look very similar. 45 and 410. Possibly. You can see a lot of Easter eggs around this room, by the way. Remember the candy from that train station? Oh yeah, that's the candy right there. Little jack-o'-lantern right there, right? Little penguin. I think that's about it. It might be some other stuff from like Higurashi somewhere. I can't see anything yet though. I'm looking for that ugly ass doll that Mion loved, right? I don't see that. I was expecting to see that shit, but it's not there. Oops. Wait, what did it say? Rosa was what? Rosa often told her to clean it up, but she was just bad at cleaning up her room. Okay. However, she knew more or less where everything was. So much so that whenever Rosa would take it upon herself to tidy up, Maria would have trouble finding things. A knapsack! Maria proudly held it up high. Sakutaro? I guess that's how you say it. Sakutaro looked at the gaping open knapsack and shifted uneasily, so he doesn't want to be put in the back. Bag that shit up. That's what she's saying. Bag that shit up. Bag it up. Maria held Sakutaro up. Started stuffing him in the knapsack. First, she tried to stick him in head first, but then he'd be upside down and suffocate. So she pulled him out and tried pushing him in the head feet first. That's what she said. Maybe stick your head out, then everybody's gonna see him. What the fuck? I mean, I guess that's okay for a backpack, though. For a, like, 10-year-old kid. That should be alright, right? Alright, so, this shopping trip is not going to go too well. It looks like she's having fun, right?
一人だったら寂しくてつまらないことでもサクタロが一緒なら何でも楽しい。どんな人間のお友達だって夕方になったらお家へ帰らなきゃならない。でもサクタロは帰らないし、いつまでも一緒にいてくれる。一緒にテレビも見るし、お布団の中だって一緒だし、雷が怖い夜には手だって握っていてくれる。クローゼットやベッドの下のお化けだって追っ払ってくれるんだよ。サクタロ頼もしい。ウリュウ、マリアを怖がらせるお化けは僕ライオンだから勇気を出して追い払っちゃうよ。ウリュウ、ガオー。
Roar. They were so close that it made me a little envious. I'm supposedly older than Maria Nechan. Are you now, Angie? Are you? But I can call her nothing else. Even now, she stands above me as like an older sister, and I'm yet to reach her level. She says that again. That's the second time she said that, and it's true. Maria's very headstrong. She's very like secure in her ways and her delusions, you would say, right? And Angie is still learning how to delude herself in this world. And in some ways, you know, you've got to fucking delude yourself to be successful. You got to like buy into your own bullshit. Maria's already there. Maria's on that level of buying into her bullshit. Angie's not even close. She's like listening to other people tell her what she is, browbeat her and shit at school, right? Bully her. Fuck that. Don't listen to what people say about you. You fucking tell yourself what you are, right? You be your own perception of what you are. And that's what Maria's already done. Maria's already on the high level that Angie needs to be on, basically. If only I had a friend close like Sakutaro.
Maria もサクタロもエンジェの身近なお友達だよ。いつもマリアたちはエンジェのすぐそばにいる。でもエン 者の魔法が弱い
That
から
weak ass magic,
こう
girl.
してマリアの日記を開かないと知覚できない
I
だけ
mean, when she says weak magic, that's exactly what I just said. Like, she doesn't have her own. She's not buying into her own bullshit, right? Because she has weak magic. You need to fucking speak the fucking magic and believe in it. And then you'll be fucking. Your perception will be reality at that point.
知覚？
Perceive? That's what I just said, yeah.
マリアお姉ちゃんは難しい言葉を知ってるね。
No, talking about Maria, okay. According to her, this world is full of magic and spirits. Natural and nearby as a light breeze.
風って普段は気にもしないし見えもしないけれどお線香の煙とかがたなびくとそれを見ることができるんじゃない？
そうね。そしてそれは見えなくても普段から私たちと身近にあるものだわ。
そういうこと。マリアもサクタロもいつだってエンジェのすぐ近くで一緒なんだよ。神様や精霊、守護霊も私たちのすぐ身近にいるの。でも意識しないと存在を感じられない。目では見えない風のように。でもそれは確実に私たちの身近にあって魔力という煙がたなびけば誰にだって見えるものなの。
I had thought that I could only meet Maria at any time when I opened this diary. But from what she said, she was always with me and I could meet her at any time if I truly desired to.
マリアは自分の日記に日々の記録と一緒に自分の魂のかけらを残しておいたの。
We could also say something here, and this is just a retread of what's already been told. Maria is the person who's written all these messages in a bottle. After the tragedy on Rokkenjima Island, Maria's messages are what has I think this is said in the last episode, episode 3. Maria's messages reach civilization, basically. I think Nijima Island gets Maria's message bottles, and it's pretty much like a message bottle of, oh, this is what happened on the island, this is what happened and how people died and shit. And then and the culprit always changes because there's more than one message bottle and the culprit's always different. So Maria is the person ostensibly who's writing these. So again, Maria has, you know, a great survivability factor. If she's the last person alive and she's writing all this shit down, basically, after everybody else is getting killed, you can say that she is the person that's you can bet money on that she's gonna live longer than most people in normal circumstances. Of course, you know, we all know the evil is the last person left alive, but the person that writes those message bottles, it's signed Maria, who's Maria. So, is it really Maria writing those? We don't know yet. It's somebody using her name though, for a reason, because she's a strong ass girl. Strong mentally.
だからこの日記にはマリアの魔法の力が宿ってるの。でもそれはとても微弱なもので、エンジェ以外の人には誰も感じ取れない。
私にだけはわかるの？
だってエンジェはマリアと同じで魔女の力を宿しているもの。エンジェだってちゃんとお勉強すればきっと将来立派な魔女になれるんだよ。
魔女、それは楽しいのかしら？
楽しいよ。そうすれば日記を開かなくてもマリアやサクタロがいつも身近にいるのがわかるようになるよ。そしたら毎日がとっても楽しくなる。そしたらエンジェにマリアは他にもたくさんのお友達を紹介できるよ。そしたら毎日が忙しくてとっても賑やかになるよ。
それは楽しいかもしれない。マリアお姉ちゃんが残した魔導書も持ってるわ。今度真面目に読んでみるわね。そしたら私も一人ぼっちじゃなくなるかな。
Rio Nechan and Sakutaro said that at the exact same time. Happy that I developed an interest in the world of witches. Yay! Let's be a witch, guys. With half of Sakutaro's face peeking out of the knapsack of her back. We're back in Maria's flashback here. Maria walked through the late night shopping district in high spirits. It was only to be expected given the time. Everyone in the shopping district was either a shop owner lowering the shutters on their shop, or an employee rushing or else staggering back home. Wow. Staggering. Met saw that Maria in the best of moods, as though she was hiking, probably stood out a great deal. The occasionally passing employees glanced backwards over their shoulders at her with the eyes of someone else, someone seeing something out of place. Office ladies giggled at the cute stuffed animal poking its head out the knapsack. The supermarket had been closed for a while by this time. However, the recently popular convenience store stayed open until the night. It was very convenient for Maria, whose mother's return was often later still. Maria took the knapsack off her back and, hugging it closer to her chest, she headed over to the sweet buns corner. She pointed to each of the sweet buns she'd eaten before, explaining to Sakataro that this one was delicious. And that one's pretty good too. Sakataro seemed to be enjoying it a lot.
マリアは3色パンにする。これ一つでね、あんことクリームといちごジャムが食べられるの。でもたまにウグイスあんだったり白あんだったりするの。あんこは1種類でいい。うりゅう、いろいろ入ってて面白そう。うりゅう。あとはマリアはフルーツヨーグルトにする。フルーツ入ってるけどお菓子じゃないよね。
Beans and fruits? Ugh. That's dinner? Where's the fucking meat?
きっとママも大丈夫。サクタルもどれか欲しい？売りは？いいの？お金は大丈夫？
Oh, she's rich, biatch. Don't worry about that.
全然平気。
Exactly.
聖徳太子なの。
Damn! She got 5,000 yen down! It's like $50, isn't it? It's like $50, I believe.
だからサクタロにも好
Holy
きな
shit.
ものを買ってあげられるよ。一緒に食べよう。サクタロもヨーグルト食べる？
When Ria made to grab another one of the same fruit yogurt, Sakataro tilted his head as if it were a little worried.
でも僕大きいのは食べられないから小さ
You
い
need
の
to give him like a fucking spoonful of whatever the fuck you're eating. Don't give him the fucking whole thing. I mean, yeah, he's an imaginary friend, but still, like, you wouldn't pretend that he wants to eat. Give him a fucking spoonful, dude. Don't give him the whole fucking another goddamn yogurt. That's wasteful, right? You're gonna throw that shit away after a while, right? He's not gonna eat that shit, right? He's this fucking imaginary character.
お
Waste that money.
じゃあこの小さいお菓子ヨーグルトは
I wouldn't even buy him that shit.
30円だね。
Okay, 30 yen, that's alright.
安い。
Yeah, this is very
う
cheap.
りゅ
There you go.
僕はそれでいい。
This is good enough for his ass.
マリアと一緒にヨーグルト。サクタルと一緒にヨーグルト。
Maria put the 3 favorite bun and the 2 yogurts into a shopping basket and brought them to the register. That's her fucking dinner, dude? A fucking bun and a goddamn yogurt? Really? This fucking mother of hers, dude. Needs to fucking die. Man working the register previously in charge of the tobacco shop that had been in the spot until last year rang her up.
お嬢ちゃん、この時間によく
No,
見
he
かけ
knows
る
her.
ね。偉いけど、今度からこの時間のお買い物には、お母さんと一緒においでね。
You already knows his mother is a piece of shit, right?
ママがいいって言ったから大丈夫。
Your mother is a fucking piece of shit.
ママはいつもお仕事で帰りが遅いけど、マリアたちは寂しくなんかないの。
Your mother should buy your shit before she leaves for work. So you don't have to go out shopping at night, risking yourself in fucking like red light district with these fucking hooligans and shit, right? Don't fucking send your goddamn daughter out at 10 o'clock at night to buy her fucking food. Buy the fucking food before you leave fucking for work. It's this fucking simple, right? What the fuck's wrong with her?
ね、サクタロ。うりゅう。
そっか、そりゃ大変だね。
Sounds really tough.
ほら、ジュースを一
Or
本
do you
お
have
ま
a
けして
tough
あ
ass
げるよ。
fucking stupid ass model? That's what it sounds like. There you go. Hey, give him a free fucking soda. Man working in the store took a can of leftover soda or something from behind the register, packed it in the bag with everything else. There you go.
おじさん、ありがとう。よかったね、サクタロ。うりゅう。
Since she had been told not to buy soda, she couldn't take it back home. Don't decide to drink it on her way back and not bring the empty can back home. There you go. Yeah, drink that soda. Fuck your mom. It's a plastic bag with the sweet bun in it hanging from her elbow. and hugging a knapsack with Sakutaro in it in that same arm. The two of them walked home drinking the soda.
柚子胡椒ソーダって微妙。
They have chili pepper soda, really? In Japan? How the fuck are you gonna have chili pepper soda? Yuzu and chili pepper soda.
サクタロも飲んでみる。
God damn.
おりゅ
Now I've heard of everything.
おりゅおりゅおりゅおりゅおりゅ。おりゅ。
That's disgusting.
ひどい。
Chaponer got her real good.
まずい。だよね。
I mean, no wonder he gave that to her for free, right? Of course, it's not like she could have actually made a stuffed animal drink soda. He just put the can in Sakutaro's mouth and pretended to tilt it. It was great fun for Maria to share the taste of this weird drink that she had gotten for free with Sakutaro. There was a huge moon in the sky. At times, that moon had been clouded by tears when Rosa had stayed over at work. Maria had thrown a tantrum and been scolded by her mother. But this moon was very warm, and it seemed to watch over the two of them as they enjoyed their trip home by themselves. Maria and Sakutaro. Angie watched the two of them go from behind. What a heartwarming sight. Okay, it's not going to be heartwarming in a second here. The sight of Maria, One-chan, and Sakutaro walking away together made it very difficult to remember the several occasions on which she had spent long nights crying because her mother hadn't been home. I couldn't admit this to Maria One-chan. But if it had been in the same position, even if I had given that stuffed animal the name Sakutaro, it wouldn't have been anything more or less than a stuffed animal. Anyone can make a relationship which only distracts you from your loneliness, but Maria One-chan was different. Sakutaro wasn't a stuffed animal or a toy. He was a real friend, and far from just distracting Maria from her loneliness, he changed the nights without her mother into a fun time where they could play all by themselves. Was it because Sakutaro was a special stuffed animal? Because her mother had made it herself? Yep. Because it was very, very cute? No, it was the other one. Her mother had made it herself. Probably not. If there was a secret here, it didn't lie with Sakutaro. I think it probably lies within Maria One-chan. Yeah, her power of fucking imagination, basically.
これがマリアお姉ちゃ
Or
んの
magic,
言う
whatever you want to
魔
say.
法の力なの。
魔法を知るということは、今まですぐそばにいたのに気づけなかったたくさんの友達に気づけるということ。まるで新しいおもちゃ屋さんが近所にたくさんできるみたいに楽しいこと。
If I, too, locked up in an academy without a single friend, had the same kind of power as Maria One-chan, I wonder if I could make my days just a bit richer. Probably could. I wonder if I could become able to honestly shed tears on the nights I feel like crying and crack a smile when the nights are gray. I think so.
できるよ。
Yep.
エンジェはできる。だって、エンジェにだって魔女になれる資格があるもん。
Its qualifications are being a lonely kid, being a kid who doesn't have any parents half the time, or you can have a parent, which never shows up, like Rosa does, or like, you know, Eva does for Angie, who's not even a real parent, to be honest, in either case. Yeah, you have the qualifications, I think,
魔
right?
女になる資格。
Be a sad sack, fucking lonely, pathetic child, probably.
マリアも魔女になれる資格あるんだよ。だからまだまだ勉強中の修行中なの。きっと素敵な魔女になってほうきでお空をかけてケーンで虹を描いて飴玉を空から降らせるの。マリアはきっとできるよ。そしたらエンジェにも見せてあげるね。きっとそれは素敵な夢の中のような光景だから。
I believe this is something definitely that Maria said to young Angie when she was, 5 years old or something. Maria One-chan said that, making an absolute promise with a smile. There's no way we can become witches. But when I listen to her speak, I can believe that maybe we really could. Because the fact is that on this troubled night, when not a single flower of a smile could bloom, her magic had certainly given birth to a smile.
魔女になれるかな。
なれるよ。
That's true. Even though Maria is probably, dead now. We don't know, We don't know if Auntie can go back in time and change that at this point in time. Episode 4. So maybe Maria is dead. But even though she is maybe dead, in this point in time in 1988, we have Angie reading her fucking diary during lunch break and cracking a smile. That's magic, right? So Maria's still making people smile in 1988. 12 years after she dies, right? That's magic. That's what she's saying there.
エンジェは少し年齢を重ねちゃったから魂が少し重力に惹かれちゃってる。だからマリアよりも修行は大変かもしれないけど、でもきっとなれるよ。だってもうエンジェは魔法の一端に触れてるもの。
私が魔法を？
うん。だってほら、もうこの世にはいない私をこうして呼び出して語らっているよ。
Oh shit, okay. I just said that, right? So, yeah, Maria's... Okay, we can say it now. Maria's dead. She's been dead for 12 years. Or at the very least, that's the same age she was when she was in 1986. And now she's in, the same appearance in 1998. So it's definitely not the same Maria that would be alive at this point in time, right? So we can say that that's the dead Maria right there. But, oh yeah, Angie summoned her. She's having a normal conversation with Maria. Maria's making her smile, right? Making her feel some type of way. That's magic. It's literally magic.
これは魔法なの？
Literally.
うん。私が日記に残した魂のかけらをエンジェは魔法で膨らませて私を蘇らせてる。
Yes, sir.
さっきも言ったよね。こうして私と再会して会話ができて時に笑顔を見せられるんだからエンジェは魔法の才能がきっとあるんだよ。マリアお姉ちゃんが保証する。
お姉ちゃんはさっき言ったわ。私は日記を開いた時にしか会えないと思ってるけど、本当はいつも身近にいるって。私に魔法の力がもっとあれば、それを見て、今こうしているようにお姉ちゃんと会話ができる？いつでも？
いつでもお話できるよ。朝のおはようの時だっていつもそばにいるし、授業中だってそばにいる。退屈な授業は私とお話しして気を紛らわせようよ。食事の時には話し相手になれるし、お昼休みだってこれまでのようにいつも一緒にいようよ。放課後だって一緒にいるし、もちろん寮に帰ってからだって私はいつもそばにいる。日記を広げた時にしか私を見てくれないだけ。
日記を閉じてもマリアお姉ちゃんは私のそばにいてくれるんだよね。
いるよ。だからエンジェが私を見ようとして、そして話そうとしてくれれば私はきっと答えられるよ。しっかりと見て話そうとしてくれれば。
私やってみる。
簡単じゃないよ。いきなり上手くなんてきっといかないよ。
Before we go next scene, we'll highlight this line right here. It's not gonna be easy, right? It's not gonna go great right from the start. Why would you think that Maria would say that? When Angie's gonna try to manifest Maria in public, when people are around, why would you think that she says that, right? Kind of preparing her for what's gonna happen when she tries to do this shit in public. That's not gonna be a good, these people are already bullying Angie at this point. Already calling her weird girl, you're a fucking failure to our class because you didn't do your fucking assignment on time, even though we fucking stole the goddamn syllabus from you so you couldn't do the shit, right? And then now she's gonna be talking to Maria in public around these fucking fools, right? What is that gonna do to her public persona? What is that gonna do to her popularity, right? It's gonna take a nosedive at that point. So she says that, kind of preemptively preparing her for like, oh, what's gonna happen when you start talking to yourself, literally, and pretending people are there that are not there. What's gonna happen there? So it's not gonna be easy. It's an understatement, right?
分かってる。
I think she gets it though. She gets it. It's all about like getting into the headspace that Maria is. Maria doesn't care. She doesn't give a fuck what anybody thinks about how she acts, right? She has the fucking lion head poking out of her backpack, right? She goes to the fucking store. She doesn't give a fuck. Oh, you call me fucking stupid. You call me crazy. I'm a happy motherfucking bitch, right? I'm happier than you are, probably. And she's probably right? You wanna live in your fucking like life where you fucking have the rules and shit, and you have the fucking lines you wanna never cross. I've got my shit, and my shit's fucking fun as fuck. So fuck you and your life, fuck you and your rules. I'm living the way I wanna live. I mean that's Maria right there. So now Andy's gonna try to do that. And let's see what happens with that.
きっと簡単じゃないと思う。でも私、マリアお姉ちゃんみたいになりたい。
Hell yeah, she does.
わかった。じゃあ、私をよく見て。しっかり見て。ゆっくり目を閉じたり、開いたりして。いきなり長くつむっちゃダメ。私の姿を瞳に焼き付けては、それをまぶたの裏に染み込ませていくつもりで。
やってる。
まぶたを閉じても私をイメージできるようになったら、そのままゆっくり柔らかく目を閉じていて。どう？まだ私が見えている？
多分見えてると思う。
じゃあ一度目を開いて。いよいよ本番。心を落ち着けたら日記を閉じて。その時一度マリアの姿は消えてしまうかもしれない。でも焦らずに心を落ち着けて。そしてまぶたの裏に染み込ませた私を逆に瞳に染み込ませていくつもりで、ゆっくりと虚空に私をイメージして、私を虚空に見て。
大丈夫。じゃあ閉じるね。
Oh, this is a school. It's not the zoo. Okay, I thought it was a zoo or something. Alright. Thankfully, I closed the diary. When I closed the diary, a gray reality filled with a dull air unfolded. Of course, Maria-chan's form disappeared. Give it all you got. Have courage. Take the first step into the world of witches. I felt like Maria-chan was cheering me on inside my heart. Cheer me on? Really? Isn't that just what I'd like to imagine? I don't think it that way, you know. There you go, that's not it. I just convinced myself that it is, and that's why I cannot see her. Exactly. Maria-chan is always by my side, and even now she's definitely there, cheering me on to do my best. And I can hear it. So I mustn't ignore it like it's my imagination or the inner voice of my own heart. Believe that Maria-chan is there. I mustn't doubt. I believe. One-chan said she'd always be by my side. I must not doubt that. But as I faced that empty space, the empty back wall of the school building, amidst those almost heartlessly boring rays of sunlight, calling out her name was so much easier said than done. The chains of common sense which had clung to me until today stared at me, telling me that calling out to the empty air was ridiculous. And it was almost like being told to take a step forward off the roof of a skyscraper overlooking the sea lights. Oh, what? I mean, what? What? Who just did that? A couple like segments ago, right? Who just did that? Well, she hasn't done that yet in this timeline, I guess. This is before that happened, I guess. Maria-chan was telling me that it's alright, that I can do it. Stop thinking that you might fall or that it might be foolish to take a step off the roof. Free yourself from those chains of common sense. Common sense sucks, guys. Sometimes. In her case, she can't get rid of it. I steadied my breathing. I concentrated my mind. Make the form of Maria Onechan you can see vividly inside your eyelids rise to the surface in the empty space before you. Understand magic and see Onechan. See her with your mind's eye. You have to feel the force.
マリア、お姉ちゃん。誰かいるの？
Oops. Saved by the bell. Suddenly, interested by the sound of rustling bushes and a wild cry, I came to my senses. Apparently, I hadn't been the only one behind the school building. No, I'd been so immersed in the world of the diary that I hadn't noticed that someone else had come afterwards. Recognized a group of 3 beyond the bushes. They were girls from my class. Oh, shit. I felt as though they had come behind the school building to gossip about someone and talk in secret. I hurried out of that place, because if it became known that I had been alone in a place like this, mumbling to myself, it would probably create more things for me to deal with. You've been found out, baby.
言ったよね。言ったよね。マリアお姉ちゃんとか言ったよね。やばくない？心霊とか見えちゃってんじゃないの？あれ。後ろ宮さんって面白い。
Hehehehe. I get a shrill, loud laughter from behind. Irritated and feeling that Maria and Nichan had been made fun of. I left that place at a quick pace and then a half run once I turned the corner. And I might have made it to Nanchan's world with just a little more time. Frustrating and aggravating. Why does everyone get in my way? I've never gotten in their way, not even once. I ran and I ran, but it still felt as though I could hear their shrill laughs. Well, your problem is you're doing this shit in the middle of a fucking public school. And you have like 20 minutes to yourself. And a goddamn public goddamn recess area. So that's the problem, right? You need to fucking do this shit at home. Not in the fucking public place. But oh well. She'll learn that, I guess. Don't be a weirdo in fucking public. That's what you gotta do. That's only the one rule of society, right?
噂じゃ、エンジちゃん。
Hey! This guy is from you guys might recognize this guy. If you played Higurashi. This is exactly the same dude. He has a different job. He's not part of the fucking the militia in goddamn Hinamizawa, but exactly the same name. Who is he?
あんた、ビルのてっぺんから飛び降りたんだって？
So, she didn't kill herself, guys. If you thought she killed herself and like now everything that's happening now it's a fucking, you know, fake fantasy. No. She didn't kill herself. She did jump off the building though. Oh, he'll tell you what happened real quick
追
though.
っかけがうざかったんで、ちょっと巻こうと思って。
Angie and an old gentleman wearing an expensive suit were alone in a massive modern conference room. The conference room was equipped with all the latest equipment for presentations, while keeping intact a refined and composed atmosphere. That alone was enough to make abundantly clear the worth of the corporation that was its owner. However, Angie couldn't have cared less. Looking aloof from the world, she sat slovenly in one of the high-class chairs for executives with salaries probably north of 20 million yen.
下の方の階で改装工事してて、転落防止ネットがあるの
There you
知って
go.
ましたし。
Safety net, guys. So she already knew that there was a safety net, so she backflipped off the roof. She just wanted to land on the safety net and make a flare about it. After, you know, Eva made a stink about, oh, I'm gonna like leave you all my money and shit, and blah blah blah. Which was a dramatic reaction, but hey, she probably saw. Well, she thought she saw Burke Steele at that point. So I would have done the same thing. Angie dismissed it with an offhand comment, but in reality, it had been a miracle among miracles. She had shot through several layers of safety netting for the remodeling project. Oh, really? Okay. Been caught by a multicolored banner adorning the atrium, slid down off and off of it. Been softly caught by a final banner landing on the ground without a scratch. Damn. Yeah, that's think the Bernie right there. 100%. And then left that place at a brisk walk. It put Hong Kong movies to shame. Damn. she fucking like been doing all these fucking like nets and shit, and then one banner like led her to the ground gently and gingerly, and as soon as she got on the ground, she started like fucking jumping off to the ground and like brisk walking out of the way. Nobody fucking being able to catch her. Good shit.
いくらネットがあるの知ってたったって、高さ200メートルの超高層だよ。もしも思い通りにならなかったら、今頃大変なことになってただろうや。
死んだら死んだで、それまでってことでもいいかなって思いまして。
Yeah, that's suicidal.
まあちょっとした運試しです。若気の至りってことで。
Angie shrugged it coldly, as though saying that she had enough of that topic. And this, the old gentleman, who was looking at the world below through the window, burst into laughter.
運試しときたか。いやはや、やっぱり金蔵さんのお孫さんだね。
Yep.
運符天符。天の流れに命を預けてもケロリとしてるその度胸。会長も博打に平気で命をかけられる人だったが、これも後ろ宮の血なのかね。やっぱりあんた将来大物になるよ。悪いことは言わない。家出ごっこはこの辺で切り上げて須磨寺の家に戻ったらどうだい。
お母さん、実家と仲が悪かったって聞いてます。お葬式で初対面の人の家になんて行きたくないです。
Sumadera's or Kyrie's family. Sumadera family is my mom's family, Kyrie's family. It's a bit of an old family from Kyoto and unbelievably strict in the way you can never have imagined from the frank way mom acted. Only person in the Sumadera family that I had been in good terms with was Grandpa, who was living separately under the guise of retirement. Mom, too, kept up contact only with Grandpa, and had nothing to do with the rest of the family at all, nor they with her, to an ugly degree. Even for me, Grandpa's house was the only part of the Sumadera family I ever went to visit. Being young, I had never really understood it at the time, but I hear that Grandpa, as a man who married into his wife's family, was in an extremely weak position, and his relationship with Grandma was also bad. In fact, maybe you could even have said that he was hated by Grandma, and confined to the house. It isn't hard to imagine that because she had a soft spot for Grandpa alone, Mom was probably also hated by the Sumadera family. As her daughter, I was probably also hated quite a bit. And yet they'd appear for the first time at my parents' funeral, shamelessly going on about how I'd grown, like they could actually act like family after all that time. These fucking bitches. After Aunt Eva died, all the wealth of the Ushiromiya family was inherited by me. Well, this is after the question mark arc now, because Eva was alive during the question mark. Now Eva's officially dead. So now Angie is the lead. She is the head Ushiromiya. Only one left alive, guys. If they weren't after that, there's no way they'd been able to say such disgusting words.
まあ一人ぼっちになっちまって自暴自棄になりたいエンジェちゃんの気持ちもわからなくもないな。
自暴自棄とかじゃないです。小うるさいエヴァおばさんもやっとくたばったんで久しぶりにのびのびと散歩してるだけじゃないですか。周りが大げさに騒ぎすぎなだけです。
So she literally, like, Eva literally died right after, right before or right after, I would say. Angie took that leap off the skyscraper. So when she started coughing in the question mark arc, like, oh, and all that shit, she probably died. And, she's probably dead by the time Angie jumped backwards off that fucking skyscraper. Cause he's saying that, oh yeah, it makes sense that you tried to kill yourself and Angie, when Eva died. So apparently that's what happened. They're all after the vast Usa Maria wealth that I'm shorted with anyway. They must think if they became my guardians, they'd be able to do whatever they please with that wealth. Just how many people have tried to act like a substitute parent and get close to me.
エンジェちゃんも辛いことがあったら俺でよかったらいつでも相談してな。エンジェちゃんのこと実の孫みたいに思ってるんだからさ。
はあ、同盟はノーサンキューということで、それより 話を戻してください。
エンジちゃん、何度聞かれたって俺が隠してることは何もないよ。あの日の六軒島の唯一の生き残りが会長なんだ。その会長が何も語らずに言っちまった。俺だって何もわからないよ。全ては闇の中だ。
The old gentleman was one of a number of corporate heavyweights who, after Eva had passed, had been entrusted to the business of group that she'd had built up. The one he referred to as the chairman was technically the former chairwoman, was Ushirimiya Eva. His company had once had a friendly relationship with Hideyoshi's company, and he had been a close friend of both Hideyoshi and Eva. For that reason, after Eva lost Hideyoshi, he had become the only person to whom she could reveal her true thoughts. When Eva's heart had been torn by the loss of her family, and she had taken it out on Angie. He had also acted as a buffer between the two, so although Angie didn't trust him, she too found him as an easy person to pay a visit. He's actually not a bad guy.
Yeah.
He's actually a decent guy in this game. Hinamizawa and Higurashi, not so much. I mean, he's alright and Higurashi too, but after a while.
事件なんて言っちまったら怒られちまうな。それは俺も世間やワイドショーと同じ程度の疑問は持ったさ。
どうしてエヴァおばさんは事故当時屋敷から2キロも離れたところにたった一人で？
Good question.
それも嵐の晩に。
Very good question.
当時金蔵さんは次の跡継ぎに誰を選ぶかで迷われていた。表向きは長男のクラウスさんってことになってたんだが、クラウスさんはあまり信頼されていなかったんだ。
It's because Kraus was dickless. That's why.
それで親兄弟4人の中から公平に跡継ぎを決めるため、碑文の謎というゲームじみた試練を課した。
それは表向きだな。おそらく金蔵さんは初めからエヴァさんを当主跡継ぎにするつもりだったんだ。長男が跡継ぎだという自らのルールを撤回してでも、クラウスさんと違い非常に勤勉で優秀だったエヴァさんに家を任せたかったんだ。
That's plausible.
碑文の謎を解いた者に家督を引き継ぐなどという新ルールは、クラウスさんから次期当主の肩書きを奪うためだけの茶番だったんだろうな。
Makes it sound more plausible there.
茶番ってどういう意味ですか？
あの碑文は誰にも解ける必要はなかったのさ。
Oh?
適当に刑事期間を経た後、本当に金蔵さんが後を継がせたかったエヴァさんを呼び出し、その答えを与えるだけでいい。つまりそれこそが当主継承の証ってわけさ。
Makes sense.
それはワイドショーでは言われていない話ですね。
まあ当主継承がうんぬんなんて話をしたら余計陰謀説が優勢になっちゃうからね。俺もバカじゃないからさ、誤解を招くようなことはわざわざ口にしないよ。
The way he told it was like this. At the time, the head of the Ushirimiya family, Kinzo, diagnosed with little time left to live, was troubled over the problem of who was to succeed him. Normally, the successor would be fixed as the oldest son, Kraus, the louse, had laid out by Kinzo himself, but in his later years, Kinzo began to think that Eva was more fitting to be head. However, Kinzo, stubborn even to himself and obstructed by the title of the successor he had given to Kraus, searched for an official stance by which he could skip over Kraus and select Eva as his successor. I mean, it's not, so far, not wrong. The official stance was the riddle of the epitaph. The primary successor was little Kraus. There was a new rule, saying that if someone appeared who could solve the riddle, they would be chosen as successor to the head. And on the day of what would probably be his final family conference, Ginzo had told Eva the answer to that riddle himself. In short, it was the same as proclaiming that Eva was the successor.
エヴァさんはあの日、金蔵さんに
It's
呼
a
ば
good
れ、
theory.
それを打ち明けられたんだ。そして当主を引き継ぐため、当主だけが知る隠し館であるクワドリアンにエヴァさんを呼びつけたのだ。
I mean, half that's right. I would
で
say.
一足早くその隠し館で待っていたエヴァおばさんはそのおかげで事故の難を逃れたと？
That's 100% right.
エヴァおばさんが全ての財産を奪うために事故を装ってみんなを殺し、自分だけ難を逃れただけかもしれない。
Remember, guys, I was talking about in the 10th Twilight, there's a failsafe that happens in the 10th Twilight. Apparently, if you're at Kumadorian, where Eva was, that prevents you from dying from that failsafe. What they're calling a quote-unquote accident. We still don't know what the hell they're talking about here. But apparently everybody else is aware of something that's accidental, quote-unquote, that happened to the rest of the family members that Eva did not have to experience because she was in Kuwadorian, the Hidden Mansion. So once again, if you're in Kuwadorian during the 10th Twilight, which is roughly pretty much midnight on the third day of October the 6th, if you're in Kuwadoria, you don't die. Everybody else who's not there, who wasn't Eva, will die. And it seems to be a fact.
大衆紙はそう騒いでるな。だが俺はエヴァさんを信じてるよ。信ずるに足るポイントがいくつかあると思ってる。
例えば
今エンジェちゃんが指に通してる後ろ、その指輪は金蔵さんが特別に作らせた世界に一つしかない指輪だ。そして今エンジェちゃんが指にしているものは間違いなくそれだと作った細工師も認めてる。
So that's the ring that Eva got when she solved the epitaph in episode 3. If we believe what happened in episode 3 is the truth, at least in that version. So of course we know a lot of the stuff that happened in episode 3 does not pass the fucking truth test. So maybe she does solve the epitaph in episode 3, in episode 4. This is episode 4, by the way. So a lot of the stuff that you'll see in this future part, you can kind of like take it as it always has happened, because you haven't seen what's going to happen back in 1986 yet. That is the part that's in question. But in 1998, that's pretty much the aftermath of whatever happens. That's the truth. That's 100% true. All the episodes are just variations from the truth. So even though the things that happened in those episodes are, you know, sort of different, maybe the pieces are different, maybe the persons are different, the culprits are certainly different, right? After the episode ends, it returns to a point of no return. Like pretty much everybody but Eva dies. So there's no difference in the results of the episodes. So we can always go fast forwarding to 1988 and we can, you know, play around with Eva's story and Angie's story. But that's always going to be, you know, locked in. The stuff that happens in the episodes are all the stuff that's being kind of contested. So just keep that in mind. So when we talk about the ring that Eva has, that's a real ring. Eva has actually gotten that ring. It implies that she has actually solved the epitaph. But again, we don't know for sure because we don't know if the episodes are true. The episodes are still under duress, basically. So she could have gotten that ring any number of ways. The way we were shown in episode 3 is she solved the epitaph, and that's how she got the ring. From Beatrice. Or the person who was dressed up as Beatrice. Either way. Ushinomiya family head's ring. That ring with the heft of gold and the one-winged crest on it. The ring had diamonds adorning the pedestal and possessed both stateliness and a sense of gaudy extravagance. Kinzo had worn that on his finger, never removing it for even a moment, until he died. The fact that Eva had it was apparently proof that Kinzo had acknowledged her as successor to the head, or she killed him, either way. One of those two.
その指輪を確かにエヴァさんが持つからこそ、そして実際にエヴァさんが優秀でクラウスさんには ビジネスシーンでの数々の集大が知られていたことを加味すると、
Oh!
エヴァさんの話は全くの作り話とは思えないんだ。
その指輪を奪うためにおじい様を殺害した可能性だってあるけれど、
I said, right?
そしてエヴァおばさんは何らかの細工をして事故に見せかけて一族を皆殺しにした。
そうだな。大衆紙は財産の独り占めが目当てで一族を皆殺しにしたなんて言ってるようだな。
I believe that guy's name is Kanogi, by the way. It's the same name as his Higurashi version. Kanogi, I want to say? It might be wrong. We'll see.
確かにエヴァさんはここ一番では随分思い切ったこともしちゃう人だよ。
Okay, hold it. Okay, he's still not named. I was gonna say if he's named in the message browser, but no. Angie's name, but he's not. I think it's Kanogi. I want to say it's Kanogi.
あるいは後宮家の財産を独り占めできるチャンスに生涯でただ一度の殺人を犯したかもしれない。だがね、俺はそうは思わない。
Well, I mean, it was true in episode 3. But again, that might have been a variation on the truth, so. It makes us more curious to see episode 4 and who actually is the culprit in episode 4. Is it still Eva?
そう信ずるに足るポイントの2つ目は、
エヴァさんのご家族だよ。秀吉さんにジョージ君。
Fuck George.
エンジェちゃんはにわかには信じがたいだろうけど。
He was right, I found it very hard to believe that, or admit it. But deep inside I knew. On Eva had really been a person who treasured her family greatly. The root of her twisted personality had been nothing more than the sadness of her stupid-ass, beloved-ass bastard husband, bastard son. And cool-ass husband, sorry. I almost misspoke there. Hideyoshi's awesome. George is not. I haven't been used for an outlet for all that emotion. I had no feelings and sympathy for it at all. But even so, it's not like I couldn't imagine that losing her entire family had dealt her an incredible shock, sufficient to transform her personality. I mean, she was always a
家
bitch.
族を愛したエヴァお
Let's
ば
be
さん
real
が
here. She was
夫と
always
息
a
子を見捨
bitch.
てるわけがない。
Like, she transformed into a bitch overnight. And she was bitch when she was on the island. Bitch after the island. Bitch in death. Right. I mean, that's bitch in the morning, bitch in the evening, bitch at night. She really was.
そうだ。もし本当にエヴァさんが犯人で一族を事故に見せかけて皆殺しにしたならば。
Right? I believe Rokogi? I don't know his name.
夫と息子が
We'll find out.
絶対に生き残ってるはずなんだ。偶然自分の家族だけが隠し館にいたとへりくつをこねてね。もし秀吉さんとジョージ君も無事だったなら、さすがの俺でもエヴァさんの陰謀を疑ったろうよ。俺は秀吉さんの葬儀で見せたエヴァさんのあの号泣を演技だなんて到底思えんね。
どっちも状況証拠的ですね。エヴァおばさんの潔白を物理的に示すには至らない。
それを言っちゃおしまいだよ。生き残ったのはエヴァさんのみ。その彼女がそれが真実だと言うんだからさ。
でも彼女の潔白は誰にも証明できない。
It's a devil's proof.
ああ、そうさ。そして彼女の犯行もだ。そして信ずるべきポイントの最後が警察だ。何しろ派手な事件だったからね。陰謀説を騒ぐ世論に後押しされて警察が随分とエヴァさんを調べたはずさ。
It's easy to feel something natural about the claim that Eva escaped the accident by coincidence, because she and she alone had escaped to a hidden mansion. Furthermore, at the time, Hideyoshi's company had been right in the middle of a takeover struggle, had wanted a large sum of cash in order to buy off the big stockholders. Wouldn't be too hard to find another motive here. But, as a matter of fact, en route to the family conference, Eva's person had been perfectly clean. Nothing unnatural was found in her that could have been used to brutally murder her family and make it look like an accident. Servants who had escaped harm by being off duty on that day also stated that they hadn't seen anything strange regarding anyone related to the events, Eva included. Putting all that together, it could only be concluded that Usurmi Eva had headed to Rokonjima for a normal family conference no different than usual, and became involved in an accident.
警察があれだけ散々調べて事件性を見出すことができなかった。警察がそう断じた。それで六軒島疑惑は決着じゃないのかな。
Not for her.
それは単に警察は事件性を発見できなかったってだけの話じゃないんですか。
Absence of evidence is not evidence of absence.
それを言い出したらキリがないな。悪魔の証明になっちまうよ。犯罪を暴くには証拠を見つければいい。でも無実を示すには何を見つけりゃいいんだい？
Yeah, you can't find anything to prove somebody's innocent unless you're willing to give them the benefit of the doubt. And you don't find the evidence, they must be innocent, right? That's the way it is in court. At least. Devil's proof is on the fucking, the burden of the goddamn, the prosecution.
エヴァおばさんが犯罪を犯したか否か、それを判断する材料が見つからないから、そのまま真相は迷宮入りということですね。
そうだな。エンジちゃんの期待する言い方にするとそうなるな。エヴァさん自身にだって自分の無実は証明不能なのさ。あの島で不幸な事故があった。そしてたまたまエヴァさんが生き残った。
Yep.
しかもそれ以上のことは何もわからない。つまるところ唯一の生存者であるエヴァさんの話を信じられるか否かって俺は信じたよ。指輪の話。
I believe the truth is out there.
家族愛。そして葬儀で見せた涙。それらを加味して考えて彼女の話を信じようと思ったんだ。
でも私は信じない。指輪なんて奪う気なら方法はいくらでもあるだろうし、家族仲が本当に良かったかなんて誰にもわからない。葬儀の涙が本物かなんて証明不能。というか私はそもそもエヴァおばさんなんて大嫌いだから、私は彼女の話を信じようなんて思わない。
事件の真相をどう見るか。俺とエンジェちゃんで真っ向から対立しちまったな。俺たちに与えられてる情報は全く同じなのに全く異なる見解も持っちまう。こういうこと政治や経済でもよくあるんだ。
Best in politics.
同じ事業をやっても必ず評価は分かれちまう。どうしてかわかるかい？
いいえ。
愛があるかどうかさ。相手に愛を感じてるかどうかで物の見え方は全く違うってことなんだ。好きな人が貧しい人に施しをすれば尊敬できるだろう。でも嫌いな奴が施しなんて始めたら売名行為だとかばらまき行政だとか非難合々さ。
That's true.
何をしてもしなくても愛があれば感謝し、愛がなければ非難する。それが世の中ってもんなんだ。
エヴァおばさんのことを信じられるか信じられないか、それだけの違いってことですか？
彼女を疑う人間には彼女が何をしてもしなくてもそれは実に不自然に見えるだろうさ。逆もしかり。俺はね、世の中には真実なんてものはよっぽどのことがない限り存在しないんじゃないかと思うね。いや仮にもし真実が存在したとしてもそれを信じるか信じないかは愛があるか否かで決められちまう。
So he kind of blew my mind just there. I was saying, you know, my theory is Eva's kind of looking out for Angie, kind of being, you know, the bad guy out of necessity, because she actually cares for Angie as a, you know, family member and shit. But according to Rokongi, I think that's his name, I'm seeing it through a biased lens of like, well, I have love for Eva, the character, so that's why I'm seeing her in her way, in her benefit. And then we have Angie, who doesn't love Eva at all, And she's seeing it in a negative way, like, oh, she hates me. She loves the bastard George more than me, and she wants to fucking punish me forever. So that she's fucking like browbeating me until she dies. But we can see it both ways with the same evidence, basically, depending on who has love for Eva and who doesn't. It kind of blew my mind, and it's exactly 100% true.
絶対性の宿らない真実なんてエヴァさんが物理的なアリバイを示したとしても君はそれを信じられた。
She ain't gonna believe that shit. Yeah, the point. I hate on Eva, so I probably deny all information beneficial to her, and maliciously interpreted all neutral information. In other words, inside myself the truth is already decided, and yet I'm still unsatisfied, still searching for the truth. So, what exactly is this truth I'm searching for? Good question.
そういうことさ。つまり俺から何を聞こうともエンジェちゃんがエヴァさんを未だ疑っている以上何を聞いても今更何も変わらないってことなのさ。少なくとも今のエンジェちゃんじゃ仮に未知の新事実を掴んだとしても真相に至ることはできんと思うね。
私では真相に至れ。
だってエンジェちゃんはどんな新情報や新証拠が見つかったってエヴァさんが犯人だってスタンスは変えないんだろう。ならこれ以上何を調べたって意味はないじゃないか。君の中の真相はすでに決まっているわけさ。だがもしエンジェちゃんがそれを真相と思わずにさらに奥深くの本当の真相にたどり着きたいと願うならもう話したつもりなんだけどな。なんだかわかるかい？
愛ですか？よく意味がわからないです。
エンジェちゃんは今エヴァさんを犯人だと仮定しものを考えている。
Okay, he's gonna give you guys my theory. It's like, okay, you think she's the culprit, but what if she was actually loving you the entire time? Let's go, Rokongi. Rokongi? Is that his name? I hope I don't get your name wrong, dude. You're gonna tell them my theory here.
でもそれじゃあ片目で物を見てるようなものなんだ。
Exactly. With one eye?
片目じゃどんなに目を凝らしても物を立体的に見ることはできないだろう。
Exactly.
だからもう一つ目がいるんだ。
You'll see the whole 3D image.
もちろん今の目とは別の立場での。
エヴァおばさんが犯人ではない。あるいは本当に事故であるという仮定にも基づいて物事を見る。
Exactly.
そうそうその通り。
Exactly.
物事を考えるときには異なる立ち位置から見るようにするんだ。そうじゃないと本当のことは何もわからない。新聞だってそうさ。一つの新聞だけじゃその記事を書いた記者の目線一つでしか物が見られない。
That's actually very true, guys. You don't read one goddamn article and make up your mind about any kind of news story. Why? Because the author, the writer, has a bias, a clear bias, about why they're writing this news article, and they'll put that in the news article. You're gonna read at least 3 or 4 news articles about the same subject before you make up your own mind about what's true and what's not, what's news and what's not, what's bias and what's subjective. If you don't, you're doing yourself a disservice on any like major news story.
複数の新聞を読むことで初めて立体的かつ冷静に分析ができることもある。
It's very true.
愛がなければ真実は見えない。
That's what it means, guys. That's what this game means. Without love, it cannot be seen.
いいね。
Maybe he found it amusing that a cheesy phrase like that had popped into his mouth. For a while, he laughed, looking pleased. Not that he was simultaneously declaring that he had told everything he knew, and that it was about time for me to leave. Understanding that, I got to my feet.
俺にもエンジェちゃんの気持ちが分かったよ。あんたが納得するようにしばらく好きにしたらいい。当時君は6歳だった。 わけがわからないうちに家族を失い、未だに心の整理がつかない気持ち。真相はわかるかもしれない、わからないかもしれない。エヴァさんは犯人かもしれないし、犠牲者かもしれない。
Just saying.
エンジェちゃんが信じる真実が見つけられるのを祈ってるよ。若いうちの旅も貴重な経験かもしれない。
ありがとうございます。お忙しいところお邪魔して本当にすみませんでした。おこのびさん。
いいっていいって。これからどうするんだ？
まあ適当に。事件関係者やその道の専門家ってやつに何人かアポを入れてるので、そちらを当たるつもりです。
そうか。納得のいく答えが見つかるといいな。
At that moment, a company president... Okay, Okanogi. It's Okanogi. Old Okanogi. That's his name. Secretary came in and handed him a memo over his shoulder. He read it and looked between it in my face.
エンジェちゃん、旅に出てごらんと言った矢先で申し訳ないんだが、耳に入れといた方がいい情報だ。君、今だいぶヤバいらしいね。
Oh?
私の金を狙ってる連中ですか？だからお金なんてくだらない。
だからって財産丸ごと売っ払って、全額を福祉に寄付しようなんてしたら、エンジェちゃんの財産で川残用してる連中が、目ん玉飛び出しちまうよ。
ああ、スマデラの家ですか。あいつら、何を偉そうに保護者面して。
I had the president of Aunt Ava. Who would ever go under the care of the Sumadera family? They probably want, as Aunt Ava had so often threatened in the past, to cut off my arms and legs, throw me in a warehouse, and suck the Usharmiya family's wealth dry.
スマデラ家の使いがここに来るそうだ。君を引き渡せと。いやいや、保護したいと言ってるな。
使いって？
君のおばだよ。キリエさんの妹さんだ。君のことを妹のように思っていると前に話してたな。
ご冗談。せめて孫と言ってよ、あのババア。
文脈から見るに君の意思は聞く気がないようだ。地下2階の駐車場に車が待たせてある。行きなさい。
スマデラの家から引き渡せって言われてるんでしょ。いいの？私を行かせて。
エンジェちゃんはきっと将来大物にな
Fuck
るよ。
them bitches.
この歌詞はその時の出世払いってことにしとこう。
Okanogi is the G. He's the new G. Now the Genji is dead.
行きな、早く。
After bowing silently and deeply, Angie left the place at a dash. After watching her leave, the secretary straightened her glasses and whispered,
スマデラ家からは足止めをしておくように言われていますが、行かせてよろしいのですか？
足止めならしたよ、十分に。それに間に合わないのはスマデラの過失だね。
That's their error.
エンジェちゃんには逃げろと言ったし、スマデラにはエンジェちゃんが来てるよと通報したし、捕まっても捕まらなくても双方に恨まれない。
Playing both sides like a smart-ass dude.
愛だね。大丈夫。逃げ合わせる。何しろ追ってまくためにビルから飛び降りられる。
Hell yeah. Okanogi again looked down at the world below and muttered, yeah, that'd be beyond me. Yeah, he's not gonna jump off the fucking edge of the goddamn skyscraper, right? Angie was no fool herself. She got off the elevator and stepped into the third floor. Taxiing the second level in the basement? That's so overly courteous that it feels wrong. It's probably better to decline that. But my enemies aren't fools either. They probably have control of not just the underground parking lot, but the first floor lobby as well. This is such a massive building. Instead of getting anxious and escaping outside, maybe it's better to stay on the inside and wait it out. Nah, that's not good. If they can control the security room in a modern building like this, I'll have nowhere to run to. This entire building is like a massive dead end. Third floor is the business floor. A girl like me clearly sticks out. Trying not to stand out any more than I had to, I walked at a quick pace, searching for an emergency staircase. One running down the outside of the building would be ideal. Found the door to the emergency staircase. There you go. After opening that heavy door, I felt the outside stairs I was hoping to see. Once outside, I immediately encountered a man smoking a cigarette who looked like an employee skipping work. After glaring at me, he quickly crushed up the cigarette and went away. Got your ass. Looks like there's no one below. I'm going to escape, now's my only chance. Just when I thought that, with an incredible squealing of the tires, a black car slid directly below me and came to a sudden stop. I felt from the tire sounds that there were several more of them, and this one had come here to block this path.
かすみおばさん、やるじゃない。非常口から出てくるメイにまで送迎車を送るなんて。
Bam bam, the car door was opened forcibly. 3 men in black suits jumped out and looked up at the emergency staircase. Ah, shoot. Our eyes met.
12マルタイ発見北西側非常階段3階応援遅れエンジェ様そこを動かれませんようにご無礼を失礼します
3 of them began to clamber up to the emergency staircase. They'd already announced that they were planning to be rough. It's pretty bad. They probably had been ordered to bring me back by any means, with one of my arms yanked off if necessary, just so long as I'm still breathing. Clank, 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 clank. Their heavy Wild's footsteps became a helix and began to rise from the lower floors, getting closer. In the entrance lobby of the building, a woman was walking forwards at a leisurely pace with 7 black-suited guards in tow. Seeing this ostentatious entrance, security guards to the building ran up to them, asking if they had an appointment.
これだから東京人は名乗らせなければ相手の格もわからない。
失礼いたしました。当社ではご来賓の皆様にはフロントにてセキュリ。
下がれ、下船が。
Damn.
私はお前たちの社長に呼ばれてきたんだよ。おこのぎ哲郎を呼んでおいで。呼びつけておいて出迎えもないとはね。これだから東京人は。
Fucking snob. Already, dude. She's the one that fucking demanded to come see him, by the way, not the other way around.
これは失礼。ようこそ後宮グループへ。妻寺かすみさん。
But his secretary behind him, Okanogi, dashingly appeared from the elevator. Even though both of them were bold smiles, they were caught in attention reminiscent of the smell of gunpowder.
エンジェはどこ？姉さんのかわいいかわいい姪を迎えに来たのよ、私は。
後宮グループでは時間厳守がモットーでして、時間を守れない人間は契約も守れないってのが先代会長のお言葉でした。
東京まで呼びつけてなんてざまなの？逃がしたわね。
逃げられたと言ってもらいたいですな。これでも随分足止めはしたんです。さすがに蹴取られましたね。妻寺さんが時間通りに来てくれれば問題はなかったのですが、これだから地方人はルーズで困るんです。
Oh, never punctual.
今なんとこの私になんと
Said the same thing you said to him, bitch. You couldn't sense any of Kyrie's sociability in the face of her younger sister, Kasumi. She wore on her face the arrogance of the ancient Sumadera family towards the ruined Ushiromiya family, as well as pride because she didn't want anyone to notice that her family was declining so much that they couldn't ignore the Ushiromiya family's wealth. Even at a glance, it was easy to understand why Angie hated everything about her aunt. Kazumi couldn't stand even a slight insult, and while she still smiled, her eyebrows twitched. At that time, one of the men in black suits behind Kasumi whispered to her,
エンジ様を発見しました対応中です。
あら、間に合ってよかった。ありがとうね、お好み。ようやくやんちゃな姪を連れて帰れそうだわ。私、あの子と一緒にゆっくりとお茶室で語らいたくて、お道具まで準備して待ってたんだから。
Oh shit. Clank, 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 clank. As the violence of the sound drew a helix, they rushed up to me from below, threatening to swallow me up. Of course, even if I fight them, I stand no chance of winning. Even so, if I run into the building, it'll be like jumping into a dead end of my own accord. Enemies will increase in number of time. If I can't do anything here, I won't have any more chances to escape. Then 3 muscular black suits came into view below me. 1, 2, 3? 3 people. In other words, everyone who had gotten out of the car. There had been just one of them. I might have been able to wait for the moment of arrival to dropkick him as hard as I could. This might have worked out. But it really is impossible with 3 of them. Wait, 3, huh? 3 might be just about doable. I can do it! Let's see. What's she doing? What's going on here?
01より12確保したか。応答されたし。どうした。応答しろ。なんてやつだ。貴様。
Nigga. Ooh. Look, see, that worked out, didn't it? It's just 3. I've already experienced much higher places after all. I knew it could jump down just 3 floors. Oh, I see. It's a good thing that the car that they came in was right beneath me, so he jumped off the roof, landing on the car roof. Even if it wasn't as pleasant as a trampoline, he broke my fall a little gently, a little roughly. Ouch.
失礼しちゃうわ。ここまでへこむこともないだろう。
I haven't broken my fall. The roof of the car now had a massive dent around my body. I guess car roofs are more delicate than I thought. I don't think it's because of my weight. Apparently, the 3 men on the stairs hadn't anticipated me jumping down. I haven't realized that they had been outwitted. They were hurriedly rushing back down. I had to run and escape while I had the chance. As I moved my body, the car roof made buckling and popping sounds. But I had been naive. There was no way they'd had all rushed up the stairs without leaving one person behind. There was one black suit left in the driver's seat of the car that had broken my fall. He stuck his head out of the window, and when he realized that the thing that had fallen on him was me, he jumped out. In a rush, I jumped off the roof, but his reaction was really fast. Either there was a massive reward for capturing me or the harsh punishment for letting me get away. Got your ass. I was mercilessly held down against the asphalt, sorry. I was being crushed face down, covered and pressed down from above. It was a hold without a trace of elegance. It was really logical and left me absolutely no room for resistance. I tried to push back with both hands, searching for a way to resist. But I was being pushed down solidly and I couldn't even turn myself off the asphalt. The other car came, squealing his tires as it slid into a sudden stop. Guess it's all over. Yeah, you're in fuckland now. The man that had been crushing me let out a sharp cry. He had yelled close to my left ear, making it ring. What in the world? The black suit and I were unceremoniously rolled over. The being turned face up, the first thing I saw was an arm stuck out right in front of my eyes. Samakusa! It's another guy from Hinamizawa, guys. We got 2 guys back to back from Higurashi, and they're both in the militia. Well, I mean, you should actually read Higurashi to know where these guys are from, but they have the same names. Amakusa grabbed my arm and easily pulled me up, spinning me around with himself at the center of the gravity. I thought that it was little like a dance, lasted only a few brief moments before he flung me through the open door of the driver's seat. Get your ass in that car. Grabbed over the handbrake and slid into the passenger seat. Pushing me through, Amakusa got in and took up the driver's seat. Since he had suddenly taken off while I was still on all fours, I had to kick and struggle around in the seat for a while like a turtle flipped on its back. Amakusa checked the rearview mirror for cars in pursuit, but flew into the artery of the big city without lowering his speed in the slightest. He sold our way between cars one after another, just like a chase scene in some action movie. Tossed about by his horrible driving, I had trouble getting myself reseated. Ojo?
問題ないわ。人間って案外頑丈よ。私、次からは下りのエレベーターを逃したら。お嬢
の趣味はエアダイブらしいや。ただ次からは落下傘をつけることをお勧めしますぜ。
飛び降りた後に
Parachutes are
思い
for
出せ
pussies. Cool. He smacked the steering wheel, guffawing. Need an explanation for this flippantly spoken man? His name is Amakusa Juza. He was originally one of Oniva's guards. If I remember correctly, she hated him for being too jokey and too chatty. He was especially young amongst the guards, but contrary to his outward flippancy, he had hopped from the 1st Airborne to the JSDF to the French Foreign Legion, placing himself in overseas private military companies and high-class security companies one after another, making for a pretty incredible and unique career. But I heard that he ran out from both the JSDF and the French Foreign Legion, and that he'll be arrested if he enters France again. Oops. Both of these flippant episodes are very typical of him. Apparently the guards have been sternly told not to chat with me unnecessarily. I recall that to stop him from coming to take a pass at me. Aunt Eva particularly disliked that, and I believe he dismissed him right before she died.
その軽口が懐かしい
Oh
わ
well.
クビになった後はどうしてたの？
ブラックウォーターでエクササイズ休暇で帰国したら小古木社長に高給を提示されました。
で、また脱走？こんな男、何の役に立つのかしら。
来週までに帰りゃ脱走にはなりませんので。話があったのは昨日です。
Nice.
お嬢が厄介な連中を呼び込むかもしれないと言われました。
まさにその通りで申し訳ないわね。
お嬢と面識があってドタバタの経験も豊富ってことでご指名が来たんでしょうぜ。お嬢のおかげでハッピーな休暇と小遣い稼ぎになりそうです。
お好みさんがあんたを私の護衛に雇ったってこ
お嬢に恩を売りたいんでしょうぜ。首の後お好みの社長にはいろいろと世話になってましたね。いろいろと弱みを握られてんで逆らえんのですわ。
と？お好みさんの世話になると後々で高くつきそうね。
Yep.
で、あんたは私をどこに連れて行くつもりなの？
どちらへも週末までは雇われてます。それ以降は別料
一日いくら
5万で手を打ちます。経費は別ですぜ。
軽口を叩かないなら倍払うわ。雇用期間を見て何週間かになるかも。
そりゃ大変だ。ボスに休暇の延長を電話しないとなりませんぜ。
私どうしてもあの日のことが調べたいの。
ああ、例の六軒事件だ。
Adoy.
そうよ。12年前にあの島で何があったのか私の手で納得がいくように調べたいの。
そんな昔のことを今さら調べて今さら新しい発見がありますかね。
そうね。だからこれは私の自己満足のための旅なの。それを終えたらネギでも背負って須磨寺の家に行くわ。かすみおばさん、私にお抹茶をご馳走したいとか言ってたっけ？
That's probably a euphemism for killing your ass. Just FYI.
角材の上に正座させられて石でも抱かされながらのお茶こしら。
Probably.
そりゃおっかねえや。
申し訳ございません。見失いました。仲間と思われる男が一人脱出を援護。スタンガン所持、運転技術その他から見て素人ではありません。
そう、ありがとう。残念よ、おこのぎ。これがあなたのお返事だということでよろしいかしら。
逃がしたのはあんたのヘマだ。俺の知ったこっちゃないね。
あなたにもぜひ今度お抹茶をご馳走したいわね。
Yeah, matcha's not a good thing.
京都においでの際にはぜひお立ち寄りなさいね。行くわよ。
あれ、もう帰っちまうのかい。お茶漬けでも食っていけばいいのに。
back to Okanogi, she laughed at first lightly, but with an increasingly shrill and hateful tone, using that as a substitute for a sharp parting remark. At that exact moment she stopped laughing, she took the look on her face changed directly that of a demon behind ya. Because her back was facing him, Okanomi never saw that expression. Okanogi watched the girl laughing coolly. His secretary whispered over his shoulder.
エンジェお嬢様は我が社の筆頭株主です。スマデラ家が後見人になれば。
知ってる。だがな、うちも天下の後ろ宮だ。舐められてたまるかってんだ。しかしあいつうまく立ち回ってくれたようだな。あとはエンジェちゃんを好きにさせるさ。頼むぜ天草。
霞様、逃走車両はレンタル、提示した免許証は偽装とのこと。明らかにプロです。おそらく車両は放棄するでしょう。追跡は困難です。警察に追わせますか。
そうね、家出娘の捜索願いでも出そうかしら。税金を納めてるんだもの。警察にもたまには役に立ってもらわなきゃ。母上、私にお任せをと単価を切ってお屋敷を出てきたんですよ。あなた、私にさらに恥をかかせるおつもり？あんたらまとめてお抹茶を振る舞った方が良さそうね。
Is that her fucking threat? I'm gonna serve you matcha. I'm gonna serve you a fucking foot up the ass, bitch. How about that?
地下のお茶室は狭いから順番待ちの行列になっちゃうかしら。
全力で捜索します。
本当に可愛い子ね。姉さんに本当にそっくり。自分勝手で自由奔放なあたりが本当にそっくり。ああ、もう姉さんにしか見えなくなってきたわ。本当に楽しみよ。
She doesn't like her sister, by the way. Hint, hint.
姉さんの娘をお茶室にお招きできるなんてね。
Somebody wants your fucking nasty ass tea, bitch. Fucking wrinkled ass, fucking shriveled up fucking tea leaves.
スマデラ家、動きが早かったわね。私、おこのぎさんに売られた？
ご冗談を。俺のクライアントですぜ。お嬢を売ったなら俺を雇ったりはしませんぜ。
それもそうね。
ああ、だから3階でエレベーターを降りたんですか。
地下駐車場に車が待ってるなんて手際が妙に良すぎたから、おこのぎさんに売られたかもしれないって思って。駐車場に待ち伏せがいたかどうかは今となっては証明不能だけどね。
なるほどね。社長め、気の毒にお嬢に信用されてないらしい。その地下の車って俺のことです。
え？天草のことだったの？
着いたエレベーターが空だったんで、連中の無線を盗聴できてなきゃ今頃どうなってたやら。
つまり何？私が素直におこのぎさんを信じて駐車場に行ってれば、私は3階から飛び降りるなんて真似する必要もなかったってこと？
そうなりますな。ま、結果オーライですがね。
Well, that's something. If I hadn't suspected President Okanogi, I could have easily escaped without getting caught in a tough spot. President Okanogi might have sold me out. No, because paranoia told me that it was better to suppose he sold me out. I assumed and decided that he did. Well, without love, you can't see it, so you didn't believe that he had your back, because you had no love. Sorry, girl. Because I wasn't able to believe him. My truth, regardless of his truth, became, he sold me out. I thought back on President Okanogi's words. Can you really call it truth if it isn't absolute? Truth can change completely depending on whether you have love or not. In the end, perhaps this thing called truth does not exist. For each person who speaks of it, another truth is born from their interpretations. That's all there is to it. I can't accept something that indeterminate as truth. Then where does the truth that I really want to find exist? And is that something that can be seen with the eyes? I might be surprised to discover that even if the truth is thrust in front of me, Maybe something I cannot see.
愛がなければ見えないか。
That's it. That's the theme.
あなたのかけらは随分と賑やかね。退屈しないわ。あなたは言ったわ。12年前の真実を探れと私に命じた。でもなんだかわからなくなってしまった。何が？真実って何？人の数だけ真実がある。人の数だけ解釈がある。そしてそれは主観によって歪められ、いくらでも姿を変える。真実ってものはそんなにも不定形であやふやなものなの？そうよ。真実は不定形。粒子のようであり、波のようでもある。相反する形状を同時に持つ。箱の中の猫が生きていると思おうが死んでいると思おうが自由。でも真実はとても繊細。それは観測されただけで姿を変えてしまう。シュレディンガーの猫箱とかいう話？寝言よ。箱を開ければ真実はわかる。開ける前の議論なんて机上の空論もいいところ。そうにもかかわらずその空論を否定するには開けられない箱の中身についてのあらゆる想像は否定不能。つまりは真実ということ。真実は否定されない限りその形状を維持する。そう、真実は観測されない限りその形状を維持する。つまり暴けなきゃどんな妄言も真実足り得るわけね。
That's exactly what happened to your family on the Rokonjima Island, right? Like, you can't open that box. Nobody knows the truth. So, hey, you can say whatever you want to about what happened in those 2 or maybe 3 days on the island from October 4th, 5th, and 6th, 1986. Nobody's opening that cat box. So, without love, it can't be seen. So, if you have love and you want to think that, Eva didn't kill anybody, and he miraculously fucking survived somehow. And oh yeah, Battler survived too. Oh yeah, your parents survived too. You can. That could be your truth. If you want to think about the worst case scenario for everything else, and Eva killed everybody and she's a fucking witch. She like intentionally kept you down until she died. That's also the truth if you want to believe it like that. If you don't have any love, right? That's what that means.
無限の創造はそれらが互いに矛盾していたとしても否定されず同時に真実として存在できる。
And those are what the episodes are. Episode 1, 2, 3, and 4. Even though things happen in a totally different way and they negate each other, like episodes 1 and 2 having Eva die, but episode 3 and 4 seemingly having Eva survive on those 3 days. I mean, definitely negates each other, right?
家族みんなが六軒島の魔女に囚われて永遠に12年前に閉じ込められているというめちゃくちゃな話すら12年前に何があったかわからない限り真実として存在できる。
Yep.
ベアトリーチェという魔女は12年前の六軒島に無限の創造の余地をこじ開けそこを猫箱として全てを飲み込んだ。
There's very few ways you can do that as a human. Like, we're gonna go ahead and throw away the kid gloves here, guys. So the person who dressed up as Beatrice pretty much locked these people into an endless imagination for 3 days because of what she did on the island. The end result, most of the Ushirimiyas died except for Eva. Nobody is able to either expose or explain what happened on those 3 days. Eva doesn't want to tell you the truth, but Eva knows what happened, right? But Eva took that truth to the grave, literally, with her. So nobody knows what happened on those 3 days. And not knowing what happened, that makes her a witch. And not knowing what the truth is, that makes Beatrice powerful. That made her be able to create this chessboard And all these other witches are like, oh damn, that's a fucking, you know, tight-ass goddamn chessboard. Goddamn, that chessboard has some curves, you know, goddamn, I want to get a piece of that chessboard, right? The well-made chessboard, it's Kompeki, it's perfect. That's what that means. Because nobody can open the cat box. That's a good chessboard. That's a good-ass fucking mystery. And nobody's been able to crack, nobody's been able to solve. Unless Beatrice wants to tell you the answer, basically. You're not gonna solve that fucking riddle. But there might be a way to solve it, though. Eva knew the answer, right? Maybe she left something behind, I don't know. Possibly? Who knows?
開かれぬ箱の中の全ては真実。
That's right. You don't know what happened in that island, so it becomes endless.
閉まったままならね、私がこじ開ければいいだけの話。でもその箱は12年前に閉じられ、仮に六軒島に訪れたとしても、私は荒れ果てた島で12年前の何を知ることができるというの？
I mean, well, Eva didn't die. She was in Kumadorian, so apparently Kumadorian is still there, right?
さあ、何を知ることができるのかしら。いずれにせよそれは1998年という12年後の未来を自由に闊歩できる。
Exactly.
最後の魔女エンジェ・ベアトリーチェにしかできないことよ。
No easy answers, Angie.
ベアトリーチェのゲーム版は1986年10月4日から5日の2日間、つまりそれはあなたが彼女のゲーム版の外へ自在に動ける駒だということ。そしてベアトリーチェですらこのゲーム版を超えた未来へは干渉できない。
Can't touch this.
そうやって言われると、私ってかなり優秀でずるい駒だわ。
あなたが身を置く12年後という未来は確かに遠いわ。しかし駒は未来に位置すれば位置するほど強い力を持つの。言ったでしょ、真実は観測されると姿を変えると。
そういえばこんな話を聞いたことがあるわ。ある日突然ケンタウルス座の恒星が爆発してしまっても、その爆発の光が地球に届くには 4.4 光年だから4年半の月日が必要になる。
そうね。つまりケンタウルスの太陽がすでになくなっているとしても、地球人は4年半の間その事実を知覚できない。光より早く知覚する手段は存在しないのだから。
At the time we learned that the sun and stars exploded, we Earth people will paint over our past 4.5 years of history with a new truth. We will revise history with a new fact that exploded 4.5 years ago. However, for the 4.5 year period until we learned that, despite the fact that it already died, the mistaken truth that the sun of Centaurus exists will be able to exist as truth. And you can also look at it another way. Somebody died in 4 and 3 months before that 4th month where they found out, oh, Centaurus' son is dead. That person would have died for the last 4 years of their life, you know, thinking Centaurus' son is still alive. Mistakenly, right? And there's no way they can, there's no way you can ever take that back at that point. You go to your grave thinking this thing is true and it's not true. Which is, you know, it's kind of a boorish example, but it's something like that happens all the time, right? You go to the grave thinking one thing. Like, for instance, let's say, somebody found evidence that made O.J. Simpson innocent of all the killings and shit, right? That he's been accused of. But somebody died before that came out, right? So now everybody in the world already thinks O.J.'s guilty, right? I mean, let's just go ahead and say it. We all know he's guilty, probably. 99% sure. But if you died tomorrow, and then this guy the next day came out with this evidence, oh yeah, he's really innocent, here's the evidence why, you would have died thinking he's guilty, right? So you can change reality in a second. And we all think reality is one way, but like at a drop of a hat, that reality can change in a second. That's what they're saying here. That's what they're saying here, guys.
そうよ。
That's right.
もともと六軒島の事故はエヴァおばさんと後宮家の財産をめぐる陰謀疑惑でしかなかった。しかしそれが後年オカルトによって脚色され、陰謀は魔女伝説として塗り替えられる。
Even though it was glamored over as a murder plot at the time of the incidents, alright? And later years, certain cult theorists which claimed that it had been the work of a witch ran rampant and began to paint over the truth of October 5th, 1986. Murder theory will probably be forgotten over time, and only the more bizarre and impressive witch theory will continue to remain as superstition and eventually paint over the murder theory entirely.
そう。恒星爆発の光が地球に届くまでの間の虚偽の真実が陰謀説という人間説だったかのよう。
Hey, I just did a murder theory, didn't I? With O.J. Simpson. Hey, it made sense.
数年後に漂着した手紙入りのワインボトル、メッセージボトルがそれをオカルト説という魔女説に遡って塗り替え始めた。
So this is the stuff I was talking about with Maria.
そうよ。
Maria's wine bottles.
魔女なんて1986年の時点では存在しなかった。その数年後にメッセージボトルによって私たち未来の人間に観測されたから魔女が六軒島を支配した。
I mean, the person who wrote those message bottles existed in 1986. They just never found it until, you know, whatever year it was.
少し修正が必要よ。1986年の時
There
点
you
で
go. Thank you,
魔
Burke
女が
Still,
存在できた
for correcting this falsity.
無限に存在できるあまたの可能性の中の一つとしてね。
確かに観測されたら消えてしまう。猫箱の中に縮こまってね。
That's true.
だからメッセージボトルは悪質なのよ。魔女は箱の外に出ようとした。自らを観測させて魔女説以外の可能性を淘汰した。つまり自らを否定できないように魔女説以外の全ての可能性を否定したということ。
Yeah, she sure did.
なんてこと。つまりベアトリーチェは悪魔の証明を正攻法で成し遂げたのよ。そしてそれは初めから魔女の計画に組み込まれていた。
Alright, so we can actually go ahead and say this now. Even though it was signed Maria Maria, these message bottles and wine glasses, or not wine glasses, but wine bottles, they were written by the person dressed up as Beatrice, not by Maria. Ooh, Maria's not Beatrice, by the way, so just go ahead and spoil you there. There's no way this little kid's killing all these people on the island. Not at all. And in some cases Maria herself. So nope, it's not Maria. But the person who's dressing up as Beatrice definitely signed these message bottles with Maria's name for some reason. So they're blaming Maria for all these like witchcraft fucking shenanigans and shit, and they're actually using her as a like accomplice in some of these episodes when she probably had nothing to do with any of this shit. Yeah, she liked witches, so that's pretty much why she was a patsy, but she's probably innocent. Probably. We don't know for sure. That's the beauty of these cat boxes. You don't know anything for sure, really. You know that for sure the person that's dressing up as Beatrice wrote these damn, you know, message bottle stuff, which fulfilled Angie's, you know, little proclamation here that was a devil's proof, a frontal attack on the devil's proof. She didn't have to prove that witches exist. She already said witches exist via the, you know, dying messages that Maria left, quote unquote. Not Maria, not Maria at all, but you can't prove that, right?
メッセージボトルは1986年より未来に観測される情報がベアトリーチェにもバトラにも観測できない。
Oh, that's right. They can't even see that.
エンジェ・ベアトリーチェにしか観測できない。
本当はメッセージボトルのことなんて調べたくなかった。だってそれを読むことは 魔女の言い分を聞くのに同じ。魔女説なんて妄言を無視している私には時間の無駄でしかないと思ってた。でもおこのぎさんに言われたわ。片方の目だけじゃ物事を立体的に見られないって。
魔女否定の視点と同時に魔女肯定の視点も必要ということ。それは正しい考え方よ。視点の数は分母に同じ。視点の数が1では分子である謎はわずかほども減らない。しかし視点の数が増えれば増えるほど謎は割り算されていく。
Oh, I like that. I like that. That does make sense. If you're a mystery reader or detective, either way, you got to think of all the possibilities, and then you can eliminate them as they come. But the more possibilities you have at the beginning, the bigger the truth is when you actually come to it, basically. I mean, it's hard to explain what she's saying here, but I get exactly what she's saying here, though. Like, if you can eliminate everything else, even if you have like the farcical kind of like things saying they're like, oh, witchcraft exists, oh, this person died because of witchcraft. Of course you can eliminate that, but you can also add that to your list of fucking possibilities here. That makes the truth more powerful, basically. Like, oh, I eliminated even like magical shit, so obviously this is probably the truth here. With everything that you put into account, and that's the one truth that you get after you eliminate all the other possibilities. And I mean all the possibilities, like witchcraft too. And you know that's the truth right there. I mean, of course you can't ever prove something is true. You can only, disprove all the other like non-possibilities and get as close as you can to it. So you definitely want to have like, witchcraft, anything else, magic, whatever, entered in as one of your possibilities. Just to be thorough, right? Especially if you're Angie and you're trying to like disprove a witch.
分かってるわ。
Specifically, Angie.
事件の数年後、近隣の島に流れ着いたメッセージボトル。それは神塚の手に渡った。
Of a dilettante.
アポイントは一応取ってあるの。
Let's able to hear on Ava's side from Okanogi-san. Next would be the witch. Why not? Now listen to what Beatrice has to say. So she's actually going to go to this dilettante's house and read these message bottles and see what they have to say about the witch side of things. Because apparently that's not going to be evidence you can use on the Beatrice, the court. When they do the witch battle, her and Battler. You can't use any of the message bottles because that happened, well, I guess it didn't really happen after Beatrice did her shit, but it got discovered after Beatrice did her shit, so we don't know for sure if those were written in 1986. Well, I know for sure it was, but nobody in reality knows for sure because, again, Eva never told the truth, so we have no idea, basically, if those message battles are legit or not. So it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. It would have been a really good piece of evidence for Balor to use against Beatrice, but oh well. So now we're going back to the actual episode. Before we do that, we will take a day break here.
余命3ヶ月
What? Oh, for Kinzo, I guess. Okay. We're gonna take a quick day break here, guys. I'm gonna continue this tomorrow. Most likely. Same time, 9 o'clock p.m. Central Time. 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We're cruising through this. It's already been a 5-hour stream tonight, so we're cruising through at a good pace. Might end episode 4 a lot earlier than it ended episode 3. And who knows, I might jump into the answer arcs after the question arcs. Who knows? I'm having fun with this read along, so we'll keep going tomorrow though. But in the meantime though, and in the between time though, you guys be good to each other. And you guys party on, dudes. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.